All right, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Sal Barbier is with us. How are you, dude?
I am great. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for coming again.
Yes.
Dude, it's a pleasure and an honor to have a skateboarding Hall of Famer amongst us.
Yes.
It's crazy. How's that? Have you put that title on your business card yet?
I keep trying to make money from it.
How's that going? So far, so good?
I'm in talks with Chevrolet, you know. No, I am. I mean, I'm throwing it out there.
Toyota.
I'm a Ford
Chevrolet.
guy, but I'll,
Okay.
you know.
But you'll take
I'll
anything.
settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like we discussed earlier. I have this dream that I can coach Uganda in the Olympics, skating with Steve Olson as my assistant equipment manager.
So let me get this. So you and Steve Olson are going to coach Uganda's skateboard Olympic team.
I think it'll be like, if it comes to vert, it'll be like a cool running thing, because there's no vert ramps in there.
There could be.
They need a vert ramp.
Right.
So you're going to teach them vert?
Steve will teach him vert.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I'm qualified to teach vert, Kelly Hart.
Okay. All right.
I'm not Mitchie. I'm going to say the name wrong on purpose. I'm not Mitchie Brusco, dude. But I can teach vert. And on a serious note,
Yeah.
dude, I wish Mitchie was my coach. I'm not even kidding.
I think a lot of people wish.
Man.
Well, he's a lot
amazing.
of people's coach, basically.
No, I'm talking like this is maybe like a different type of story. You know, he's current people's coach that are going to the Olympics, right?
Oh, okay. But
I kind of want like there's got to be a sports analogy for it. I can't think of it, but I seriously, you know,
like a manager? I don't know.
No, man, like one of them sports movies, a tearjerker, where they're like, you know, where like, you know, the guys
like Rudy?
Nick Nolte. No, Rudy Rudiger's different.
Okay.
The Rudy Rudiger, I think about that in skate all the time, and that's like the B team people that are like, you know, you're filming and they're like, I'll jump down that rail, and then the A team guys like, God, what are you doing, man? You're making this hard for all of us, right? And then the team manager comes over and says, like, that's exactly why your ass isn't blah 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 blah. You know, that's exactly why you didn't get first round choice of Street League, because your ass wouldn't do these things. See? And that's when you have the Rudy Rudiger. and then the manager, the team manager comes over and says, son, if I could take your drive and put it into those guys' bodies. See what I'm saying? That's what B team people deal with.
Which is your style with the Uganda team? The skate manager or the guy that yells at them?
They don't need management. I think mine would be the Cool Runnings vibe, where it's like you don't have a vert ramp. We get a vert ramp.
Right.
There's no vert ramp.
But they've never skated vert before, or they have.
They don't. I think they only have that one little skate park.
I don't really
It's a work in
Uganda, the Uganda Skateboard Society. They've done a couple little versions.
They
of
have
that
that
park
little skate
too.
park.
Yeah. But I don't know if they have vert. Maybe by now.
They're the most inspiring thing I've seen on YouTube.
I love
it.
it.
Not
Definitely gonna
YouTube, on
reach out.
Instagram.
Yeah,
I love
they're
it.
going to reach out after this for sure.
Reach out. They won't. I'm older. They probably won't know who I am. You know, but.
Well, Hall of Fame, dude.
Hall of Fame. I mean, you got the accolade. You got the.
I mean, I see them
Lucas
biting my
Barbier.
tricks over there, like.
What, Sal Flip?
I've seen that, dude.
Erase the Sal Flip and talk about the other flips.
Double backside flip on flat.
No, we're talking to the rails and stuff, Kelly.
Kick
We're
flip,
going to
board
rename
slide?
it. We officially rename it today. The Sal Flip is now a kick flip board slide. Yes. You can. I'm going to give the Sal Flip to. I'll say it again. Whatever dude still wears denim shorts, NASCAR style, you come get it.
No, the jorts are coming back, man. The jorts are hot.
The
Let's
jorts
talk about
are-
the ones that are cut.
The Nelly. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the Nelly jarts.
With patches all over it.
That's when I think of the Sal Flip. That's the memory I get. I told you it's like a lowered truck, and someone runs up to me at a demo, and I'll say it again. I got him, bro. And they show me that they can Sal Flip do them, and that's what that trick. You know, it's a cool.
Do you
trick,
sign their
though.
shirt afterwards?
I'm not gonna slag on that trick. You know, I think it's a fun trick, and it was a great time. And I remember. I remember.
You remember the first one you ever did?
I do
I
remember.
remember my first time.
I do remember when I did it and kind of twirled it more. You know what I mean? Vert guys are always so angry about that. Huh? It's a finger flip, man. They get really mad and always want to point that out to me.
What? What do you mean they get mad?
Because if someone does the finger flip lean to tail
Yeah.
on vert, then the vert, someone on a microphone or something. I never say it. I didn't name the trick. I don't call it that. I always say, hey, man, I was working on this hand flip thing, and people are like, you mean come on, just say it. But you can't get me to say it. And, when someone does it at a contest and they're like, finger flip lean to, they don't say finger flip lean to tail. A lot of people go, that's Sal Flip the tail. And then just angry vert trolls come out of the woodwork. God, it's a finger flip lean to tail.
That's how the vert guys talk?
Yeah, they kind of, the ones that get mad about it, yeah. It's not like my friends, the educated vert people.
Not those guys.
The well-spoken.
How did you develop to do that trick?
Okay, Kelly, we're going to go back in time. All right.
We're going to go back to the early 90s, late 80s.
Okay, when I don't know if you guys were around for this stuff, but...
I wasn't for sure.
Okay, there was there was a place in Louisiana called Galvez Plaza, my training ground. But I never trained. It was just a fun place to skate. Okay? Now, the process that I learned things were, it was like there was a small stage and a high stage. High. No way you could fakey flip, tray flip, backward manual up this thing. It was a really high stage. Okay. High. All right. And it was, the small stage was 3 stairs because it broke off into 3 stairs, right? And the big stage was like 5 stairs, right? But big, tall, long stairs, right? And so in the beginning, I would ollie off of that, right? Straight ollies. And then I started doing the grabs, right? Like it was a grab game. You'd be like, okay, let me get a Japan, let me get a front side, let me get a stale fish, let me get a roast beef, and let me get a backside, right? And then you also said, hey, let me grab the nose and the tail. And then I'm riding like a G&S snow blender and wearing fake like Vans shoes. It's like early on, right? So then I guess you start seeing like I think Mike V probably elevated the grab game, right? And it was like, oh, do an airwalk on the flat. Everything we were doing on the flat. Like you could just torque out of Japan on the
flat.
Somehow on the flat, you could grab a you know how hard it is to grab a stale fish, right? But you could just grab it on the flat. So I looked at Vallely and he had really good airwalks, and I was influenced by the right people, so I saw like that guy does it right because his board is vertical, and he gets back on it and levels it out before he puts his feet on it, right? So I was doing a lot of airwalks down stairs and on flat, and then I started doing like I hit my face doing this. I started doing front side 360 grab, 360 just grab the nose and throw it like around, and my front foot didn't stay on. I'll never forget it. Hit my face. So there's a lot of grab power, right? Instead of the way where you just do it and turn all, go all the way around. And all right, so I was thinking, like, wow, I'm skating a ramp, and I kept doing airwalk fakies, right? Kept doing the airwalk fakie, and I saw Ron Allen did the finger flip, but he twirled it. It goes the other way, right? I used to do it on... Ron Allen used to do that before everybody, I think, where he did an airwalk on the ground, and you grab it, and you just kind of do it the way Hawk would probably do it on vert. Remember how they used to snap? It's like you snap your finger, and then you could grab it Indy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ron was doing that. I saw him doing it on the flat, and I was like, dude, I wanted to get back on the board. That's hard to jump back on it because you have to just twirl it, right? So I was like, dude, I had a lot of air time on the Japans and stuff on the flat. So I was like, dude, I could totally grab this. And I was going up a quarter pipe, and I was like, I could always do big airwalks, and I was like, dude, I have all the time in the world. So that's why it just fanned out, right? And I was like, oh, I don't even have to turn it quick. And then I thought, like, I have enough time. I could do that on the flat, right? So that I just did it on a ramp first, and then jumped on the flat and started doing it.
Damn, dude.
So it was basically, like I said, it was a grab. That was the progression of, I thought street skating and my skating was like, you know, when it started out, it was foot plants, right? We were trying to get in the air.
Right.
Because when I started, I'd never seen anyone ollie. So somebody was turning the board as fast as they could, and it was getting like a 90-degree lift off. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I saw, rest in peace, is this guy named Deej. Somehow, from Lafayette, Louisiana, this is probably, I thought only him and Gons could do it back then. He snapped this ollie up this thing that was like that tall, straight.
Damn.
Because back then, when you could go on the stuff before you could just ollie over a string that was half the height. Because you kind of land and get it up.
Yeah.
But it was like, dude, I mean, this is early. This is like, I probably had like a Votto rat board, right? With rails and a tail skid and a nose piece. And then to see a guy like go straight, and he did it over like a little bench, like the bench thing. And I was just like, whoa, you got to be kidding me. So after that replaced all the foot plants for me, right? Because I used to foot plant down like giant things, dude. I would foot plant down stuff, but I had it the good way where you only take 2 steps. You guys ever foot plant?
I'm not a foot planter.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a street plant. I never liked street plants, but you ever seen Vallely goes into a best street planter ever, right? How he goes into the nice 2-step, and then it's just like a pretty fluid, smooth looking thing, and then you always had the guys that got in the circle that kind of stopped, shuffle their feet, and put the board up like this and swung it to get the momentum. You're like, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like, God, he messed up a street plant. So there were just foot plants and certain things like helped me get to the ollie, because I was jumping down. I would just find the biggest stair set I could and jump, but 2-step only, and then you could put your feet back on the board and you're just flying. Yeah. You're floating.
Who came up with the name the Sal Flip? Who?
That was Ternasky.
Oh, Ternasky.
I mean, most of the things you're seeing in like Hocus Pocus is just stuff I did a long time ago as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And that was something he named. I don't give myself nicknames.
I mean, nobody. As you shouldn't. As you shouldn't.
Right. Especially at that time, all young. Yeah, this is a Sal Flip.
So can we talk about the Roberts flip that I heard you were throwing out there?
Oh, I'll name something after me. I've been trying to get something named after me for the longest time. Trust me. I'm the biggest advocate for
Heart
myself.
Attack.
I don't know.
The J-Ron,
Yeah, it has to make sense.
You want to do it. Just you guys do it when I'm not here, and you name his, and so you don't name it after.
There's no way Chris is giving me any credit for anything. There's no way.
We need your help, Sal. If you could put in a good word for whoever names tricks.
Well, if it'll make it in the... I've never been in the Hawk video game, but I am suing them because the Sal Flip is in there.
Oh.
And I'm going to sue
Tony.
I'm suing Tony Hawk.
Wow. Breaking news. Breaking news.
I'm not,
It'd be amazing if you actually...
I don't really
don't do it, obviously, but that was serious.
He ain't got a strong case.
Sal Barbier.
He ain't got a strong case.
Suing Tony Hawk.
That is cool, though. At least it's in there. It's pretty cool.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in that one. I don't... I do, because it pays a lot.
But wait a minute.
I was in the bootleg one that it came on Commodore 64.
Jeez.
It went straight to PC, dude.
I don't even know which game you're talking about, dude.
Commodore's
It started out as a game that was maybe be like a Danny Way game, and then it became an Andy McDonald game. Your brother, Andy McDonald.
Yeah, that's my bro. Hell yeah.
You look like him.
I know. I've heard it. I've heard it a few times.
Okay.
It's from your partner in the Uganda, Steve Olsen.
What's that?
Your partner in the Uganda Olympics, Steve Olsen, coined the Andy Mack.
Yep.
But you've heard that before.
I've heard it
You
before. I
should be
randomly
him.
heard it twice. I never heard it until twice in 1 week in my entire life, and it was a day before, and then next day Steve Olsen told me that.
Should you not be him for Halloween?
I have done that, and I have done that, and
It went over well, didn't it?
oh yeah.
What'd you wear?
I wore a yellow shirt. No, wait, what did I have?
Yellow
It was a
helmet?
yellow helmet.
Yeah.
That's the first time he ever put on a helmet.
Red
For sure.
shirt?
Yeah, no, I wore a helmet when I was a kid at a skate camp. Then I wore like the little like I was shorts with like a yellow, no, like the mid high socks, the white
Yeah.
socks,
Yeah,
and then a pair of
Cargo shorts.
cargo shorts.
Airwalks?
He gave me a pair of Airwalks.
And did you have pads on too?
Yep.
Wow, that must have been a first.
I saw Phelps.
pads.
Phelps was at a part. It was at a Halloween party, and
Yeah.
Phelps saw me from. I don't really know him that well, but he we would say what's up, and he's like, Andy Mack. Like he just knew. He was stoked that I
That's
was
so good.
He's like, that's one of my favorite skaters. That's what he said. That's what he told me.
Did you run that again? Have you run it?
No, I should.
He
though.
did it for like 2 weeks after Halloween. It's crazy.
I did a little ski with Andy. It was cool. I never had met him. Me and him became friends off of that joke, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool that Phelps saw you and knew
Phelps was like
immediately.
stoked.
Yeah.
That's
Phelps was
awesome.
stoked. Yeah.
Wait, did the Sal Flip in the Tony Hawk game, was that like somebody's special trick?
You have to unlock
Yeah, you
several
gotta
levels
unlock-
to get to
okay.
this. This is just not something you just show up and like, I want to do a Sal Flip. You have to. This is like
It's like real life.
it's like
dude.
the end of
Yeah.
the game
Yeah.
unlock mode, dude.
It's like final boss.
You get that. You
Like,
get the
yeah,
Sal
yeah.
Flip when
It
you win.
says
it.
You win the game. Get
It
the Sal
says it,
Flip.
dude.
I trust you, dude. I've never played
It's hard to do it, man. It's one of the hardest. You probably need.
like 2 controllers to do it.
You probably need a pencil, like on track and field. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
it's not just something people throw
I
out
used
there.
to fucking
I
go
remember
like
that.
crazy on
Yeah.
the track and field, dude.
This is once you unlock that level,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay. Good stuff,
You
dude.
know?
You should sue Tony Hawk, dude. You know what?
I like Tony.
He's
we
a
go
good
back.
dude.
We
He's
just
a
did a
good dude.
doubles routine not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. If you if you skated vert today, what are your tricks? Like what you got? Like
I
what's your
skate
demo
bowls,
tricks?
man.
Vert. We were talking about vert earlier.
I've
though.
never had vert. I have a theory on why black people don't have vert ramps.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, maybe the dad isn't around to help me build it.
Dude.
I'm black and my dad wasn't around, so I can say it. Okay, that's number one. It's just a theory. Number two,
Gotcha. Okay.
the richest people that I've borrowed wood for vert ramps.
Construction sites we're talking about?
Yes, their parents never questioned where 3 loads of a Isuzu long bed wood came from. Okay, but those were in wealthy neighborhoods, and
Right.
guess what goes on in wealthy neighborhoods? Construction without security guards.
Just leave the lumber.
In the hood, we were not building houses over there.
Hmm.
And if I showed up with more wood than is currently on the house, someone might be like, boy, where'd you get that wood? Okay. And,
Okay.
you know, it's usually in a rural area that is not that inviting sometimes.
You need more land.
You need to live in a place where they turn the other cheek when you build stuff like
Right,
that. And that's
right.
usually that's in a barn or something, right? Yeah.
Well, it depends on what neighborhood you're in. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what in the 80s, how many brothers were just like, man, Dad, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to put up a ramp and I'm going to put it up in where you're going to be able to see in everybody's backyard
Yeah.
on each side.
Right.
And I'm just going to throw it up.
there was only 10 black skaters,
Thank you. So the
So they
odds are
didn't-
low.
exactly.
Again.
Uh-huh.
but Steve Stedham did it, and was able to train. I don't know. I don't think
He had a
it.
ramp?
I don't think he had it.
But he's California. I'm south.
true.
You know what I mean?
This is true.
Okay.
I went to school when segregation was being introduced. Right.
So wait, let me ask you this: were there people with ramps around you?
I tried my hardest to build a ramp. I tried so hard. I built a lot of them. I didn't know. You take a pencil and a string. Are you aware of this, Kelly Hart?
No.
Okay, you take a pencil, you nail the string down, and now you can draw a radius, a circle. I didn't know that you could I took 2 sheets. I didn't know you could move them and then fill the bottom part in and get a bigger transition. So all my ramps went like this. so they all
whipping out.
So all the ones that I was in charge of building, I kind of took the lead and built a lot of the earlier ramps that I skated, and they all were. I was like, dude, well, I mean, you can't get the transition bigger than 7 feet, and I had like 2 feet of vert. And I get crazy hippers. Okay, so I wasn't complaining. I was just riding them. Back then, I had, and then somebody would build like an 8-footer that would just go to vert, split the PVC coping. Mm-hmm. My tricks were like a lot of stuff where you would land on the deck and just hop back in, like a backside boneless, a fast plant. Well, they call it a horse plant, right? It's not the Miller kind where you boost. Grosso made him look cool. You know how he does a fast plant? He'd land with his front foot, kind of hang out there and then jump back in. The airs, obviously.
Yeah.
No front side back then. Front side was hard back then.
Front side seems sketchy.
And inverts. Mm-hmm. I get my hand on the coping. Why is that the hardest trick to do now?
It looks insane.
I can't figure out. I could do it as a kid, and it was easy, but I cannot figure out how to put my hand on the coping.
Not as limber.
No, it's not. I don't know. I just can't figure it out. Maybe it's because I was skating every day and I'd work my way up. But then you do like fakie ollies, but you probably don't. Back then, you didn't fakie rock.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was like, and then a regular rock and roll, no front side.
Yeah.
That was kind of the early origins of a lot of kick turns, a lot of kingpins that stuck out. They came from the hardware store. They stuck out way too far. I had a lot of tracker trucks where you couldn't even take the kingpin out. Imagine. So when you break it, you're like, dude, you don't have a truck.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with those boards, Kelly, that have he's got a gull-wing hanger and a tracker.
Yeah.
You're like,
Frankenstein together.
Oh, make it happen.
Oh, man. And you don't complain. And your board is just lasting for what? Till it breaks, right?
Forever.
So it's good times. So I always tried to build ramps. And then when we finally got the crew together, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was George Brown, the legendary vert skater, really good. Barry Milligan, Dave Kozan. Dave was going to school for architecture, right? So Dave was with the ramp plans. He was leveling it out. So the first place we put it in my singer's band, dude, right? He put it in his backyard, and the thing was perfect. Everything was level. But let me back up. Before that, we put it in George's neighborhood, in my friend Brian's.
This is a vert ramp?
Brian's
like
house. This was going to be the perfect vert ramp. We raised money. Everybody starts pitching in. It's level. We didn't even steal most of the wood for that one. So we're leveling it. We're doing all that. He puts it in this nice neighborhood, and they're like, as it starts going up, they're like, read the rule book.
HOA.
So we had to take that down. But wait a minute, I think I got the order off. Because before that, we put it at my friend Blaine's house, and Blaine's house was like, this is how I remember ramps back then. When you open the sliding glass door, you were on the ramp.
It's right there.
The ramp took up the gate, the fence all the way. When you stood on the deck, you could see in everybody's house because it was right next to you.
Yeah.
He put that thing up. I was like, that's it, man. I was like, I'm going to, you didn't ride any street or anything. You rode ramps. And then maybe when it got too late or someone wasn't at the ramp, you'd be like, all right, well, what were they? Lance Mountain was kind of cruising around downtown, and Gons has got a photo in Houston, so let's go find transitional walls or something. And that ramp, I never got to ride it. I was so excited. I was like, this is it, man. I was like, finally, a good one. I'm going to learn 540s. I'm going to go for it, I had a good foundation, I thought, from riding all the other stuff before. And it was up for a week.
That's it.
And then it cracked a lot of dudes that were skating because I felt like that was what you skated, and then once you take that out, well, Well, think about street back then. It's going downtown or going to a campus, and it's not like nobody figured out to wax a ledge or anything yet, right?
No one was waxing anything?
Not back then, no.
No.
This is the early origins, man. It's like
Yeah, I guess I never thought
nobody's
about that.
waxing. You have rails on your board to slide. You know, you have copers to grind stuff. So it's like, that's how I became a street skater. I limited video. I had limited beta in VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So I would, I'd go downtown and I would just like, I got tired of rail slide and stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, dude, well, what else can you get into, And then you're doing a lot of stationary things, right? You want to go to the bench and you're like, I'm gonna land in a Smith. Remember, you're not moving.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna go to tail. Ooh, I'm gonna do a backside. So you kind of learn everything stationary.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're like
then
rolling up to it, right?
Yeah.
And then doing it, and then
you
rolling
stall,
back out.
and then you'll
stall.
be like, dude, I'm a 270 ollie out, and then you're like, I'm gonna stall on a nose pick, and then grab out stale fish instead of front side, and then so you're just doing all that, that's what you're doing. And then the video that changed my life was, I've never seen a more important video to street skating than Shackle Me Not, because I saw that and I was like, God, dude, what the hell? They're sliding these benches like a ramp. I remember that. I was like, God, the first time you see it, you're like,
It's very
Was
important.
that so that was before my time, but was that the first video where they're basically you saw sliding? Like on a board?
dude,
Like on street, I mean, sorry.
Just put it this way. Like I said, I felt like the way everyone skated was he rode vert, and then street was an afterthought, right? So when you watch videos, there's great vert in it, right? When you watch early videos, what do? You look at them and you try to learn everything in the video.
Yeah.
Okay, you can learn a lot on the early videos because people are on vert ramps. Now, that one comes out, and that's the first time you probably fast forward a lot of vert.
Because you wanted to see what the hell everybody else was doing,
you
right?
rewind it 1,000 times, and you're like, dude, what the hell was that? And you're trying to figure out every single thing they're doing. You go and buy a chain wallet because Hensley has one. Everybody's got bleached hair.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's the most influential street skating video I've ever seen because you've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's the first.
What year did Shackle Me Not come out?
Just that 89?
No, it's 80. It's got to be 88, I think.
I think it's 88, 89.
Well, because Hocus Pocus, that was a
That's
89.
2000, 89 or
89,
89 or 90.
I think it
I felt it was like
89,
90.
90 maybe?
It still might be 89, man.
I think so too.
Wow.
Because then the first,
All of this
the first
is
Plan B
like-
video came out in 91.
Yeah.
All of this is stuff you rewind to death, right?
All day.
So Hocus Pocus is what year? 89?
I think it's 89.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says 88 for Shackle Me Not.
88. Okay.
So look, all of that, when you see, that's Lottie right there. Did
Brian
you know that?
Lottie. Shout out to
That's
Brian
Brian Lottie.
Damn.
So when you see that, you're like, oh, wait a minute, dude. Like, see? So you're getting all this.
Kind of the stationary vibe.
You know what this
Yeah,
is? You know
you
what this is? When you're looking at this video, it feels like all of it's never been done.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
For sure.
You're like,
Definitely.
holy cow.
I mean, even those obstacles, though, Sal, like, this is kind of like the first of like those type of obstacles,
Yeah.
right?
So that was I was a kid in Louisiana looking at that with my friends, and that was just like look, you've never seen that,
That
right?
is-
Like, so
No, the door was open.
it was incredible to see it,
Yeah. And then just going out and try to emulate that.
Yeah.
Trying to find the obstacles that you saw in the videos to do the same tricks on, right?
Yep.
well, you kind of figure out that you could slide and do that. I think that's the first time I saw that. Where comply
No
flip
comply
and
up,
everything.
yeah.
The flip, because he does a
Where-
really high one in here, Brennan, right?
He does. Look at that, dude.
Where was this all? Is this in San Diego?
That's a skate camp in Visalia, right?
Visalia, I believe so.
But most of all that stuff was filmed in San Diego.
No, they film it in random different places. I felt like when they made this video, I had gone to the 88 amateur finals. That's where I saw it during they premiered it there, I felt like.
So
Maybe
sick.
not premiered, showed it, right? So at the 88 amateur finals, I kind of knew all the people in the 88 amateur finals.
Right.
This was kind of the first time where I was like, I didn't know I'd never seen any of these guys. You know what I mean?
You never even heard of them?
No.
Wow.
Because I felt like that was Ternasky's way of doing things, where he's like, he just had a different way where he's like, I'm just going to find a bunch of people that I think rip, and I don't need anyone else to tell me that they ripped. You know, you have to go back in that time. I was,
Brian Lottie.
You know, I felt like in the 90s, you could. The first time I met Pierre, I wasn't shocked that he did this. He didn't do it when he found out. He's like, oh, I didn't know it was you. But the conversations before that would be like, you couldn't get sponsored or get any type of thing because people were like, they only were dealing with people they heard of.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you would have people saying, hey, man, that guy's pretty sick. You should give him some shoes or something, right? And it would be, there wasn't a Ternasky that would be like, let me look at him. Let me check him out. Fuck yeah. You know, there was no, delete that curse.
Were you,
Yeah, but there was no, that, I felt like he was the guy that, he grabbed a lot of people, dude. That
He stamped a lot of dudes, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Ternasky.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it was like this. I saw Tony Ferguson once at a camp, you know, and I was like, hook the guy up. He didn't question it. You know, he's like, that dude rips.
Yeah.
Like, you could do, you know how hard that is to do. Probably even today, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, everyone's good now. So.
Yeah,
But spotting some special talent. Yeah.
Well, just you saying it and having somebody
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it and go, yep, we'll do it. There's all
Yeah.
types of weird things
Right.
involved, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, I said the same thing with Chico Brenes, right? I was like, dude, you got to hook that guy up. And it was cool because it wasn't like, well, how's he doing NSA? How's he, you know, it was like, oh, yeah, you could see those are rad dudes. Just hook them up.
So that was when street skating started to really come into play?
That was when it became, I felt like, not an afterthought. It became an industry. And that's what I thought early H Street, you know, I'm a consumer. So I could say that of the time. That's what the change was, you know. Before I would just study like Powell videos. You could not run out of vert tricks on a Powell video. You're like, oh my gosh, dude, you know. And that's what I studied. And then that one to me was a game changer, where it was like, you know, it had nothing to do with me not wanting to skate vert. I wanted to skate vert and everything, but all of it was gone. I had no ramps, right? So you're just constantly, you know, downtown or in a parking lot or somewhere. And that one was cool because you just had an encyclopedia of like a lot of things you couldn't do. Right?
were you sponsored by H Street when Shackle Me Not?
No.
And but Hocus Pocus came out like a year later. So
Well,
you were like,
I had entered a lot of, I traveled to Houston a lot. My friends, you know, were like, my favorite skaters were, I never talk about it, I guess, because these long-winded interviews, I drop it out. You know, Texas had a lot of my favorite skaters. I'm a huge Brian Pennington fan. I ended up on a team with Brian Pennington. I love Dave Donaldson. These are guys where I got a lot of like mini ramp stuff from, right?
Okay.
A lot of mini ramp tricks. And I love Mark Roach. You know, I love Mike. Mike Crum is from back then, so he knows, and Gentry as well. So I always wanted to ride vert, so I was always looking at these guys. Pennington was my hero, right? And so all the guys I'm looking at, really good on mini ramps were like incredible at the skate park of Houston. The guy Dennis would build like, I'm gonna build a spine and I'm gonna put a hip, and it was like heaven to go there. And so these guys all ended up like David Nielsen. They all ended up, a lot of them ended up riding for H Street, right? So they were telling Mike like, you have to check out my friend, dude. And he's like, I think I met him at the 88 amateur finals. So I was there skating, you know, and he's like, I remember him. And that's how the whole thing happened, where I was at Scooter's house, and then he came along and he's like, dude, I knew you're the same guy. Go on the trip with me, film, you know.
I just find it fascinating that like Shackle Me Not can come out. You could see all these tricks that are like never been done, but then a year later, you're in a video doing crazy shit like that they were doing. You know what I mean? Like
No,
board
I'm
sliding
gonna
rails
start
and
with the
stuff.
thank you stuff now. All right, because I think I've had the coolest professional skateboard experience in the world. I think so, literally. I'll say that because imagine I'm in Louisiana and I'm like, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go out to California and then I'm gonna come right back and go to college, right? Or trade tech to work on hot rods, but we won't get into that. Okay. So I loved the video. I loved Shackle Me Not. It was my favorite video. So imagine coming out, meeting up with Mike, and then okay, you're on the team, and I hate to tell you, but now you got to go tour with Matt Hensley and Ron Allen. Immediately, I'm touring with Matt Hensley, dude. Right? I'm like, dude, cool, my favorite skater of all time now. You know, it's like I'm touring with him. So I'm just in.
Did you have your chain wallet?
I did, and I slammed on that. I slammed on it really hard.
Did they roast you at all, being the new kid?
No. I'll tell you exactly the dynamic because I love this. And Jerron, you'll be able to relate to it, and you will too, because you will too as well. Yeah. It started out, okay, so I'm like, 20, and I come out, and I'm the guy that is happily living out of a duffel bag. I don't care. I have a skateboard, and I get them for free, and I've won the lottery as far as I'm concerned, so I can't skate enough. Matt is somewhat in the middle because he's got like a girlfriend, right? And he lives here, and he's a little bit more settled in. And then Ron is older, and so Ron is a little bit on the next level of like, I'll tell you how it works. You go on a trip, right? It starts like this. Someone calls, they're like, who can you send out for a demo? You know, so say he wants 3 of us. So say I went on a lot of tours with Matt and Ron, a lot of them. And Matt would always be like, he skate all the time during the demo. Same with Ron. But then you know that one day extra that you have, the one day after everything's over, Ron was always the rich guy that'd be, I'm flying home today.
Oh,
I got to get back to my lady or whatever. And Matt was always in the middle where it was like, Ron was like, we should fly home. And I was always like, well, I'm going to find the dude that skates and hang out with him and stay the extra day. I'll stay extra days. And so Matt was always like, he wasn't going to do it as much, but Ron could almost talk him into it, but then he wouldn't do it. But you know how you progress. And like when I started working, when I was doing the Plan B management thing, I was like, God damn, they're all the way at the end. They're like, they just won't catch the plane.
They just want to get out. Yeah.
They won't even catch the plane. They're like, I'm over it. You know? Yeah. So it was interesting to see that dynamic because, you know, I got to skate with Matt. Then I got to meet all of the guys that were on the team. You know, that's how I met Mike Carroll, and I got to stay at his house. And I'm couch surfing, so with a camera. So I met everyone in that video. Then I got to meet, you know, Danny Way and skate with Danny Way all the time. So it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, all the way from Jason Rogers, Alfonso, Cookie Head. I had a blast skating with Damon Carbajal back then. You know, it was the most fun I ever had. Ever, dude. And that's all it was. It was like I was making money off of demo checks. I didn't have a board yet, but I had done so many demos because from what I just told you, the phone would ring and they were like, okay, well, a couple of guys don't want to do it, but you know, Sal will come out. So I would go to all of them. I remember being on planes by myself. Isn't that crazy?
To go do a demo.
Yeah.
Not a demo by yourself.
A signing?
I'd be going to the demo by myself, but I'm saying I'd traveled so much back then. I remember being on planes with no one else on them because I'd be going to weird little, you know, go to Indiana. Yeah. No, bigger planes. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe there's not one other person on this.
That's insane.
Yeah, wow. But I would take all of them. I would take every single one, and that's when you got what, $300 per demo.
Yeah.
and then they take care of everything. You get to hang out, so it's heaven. And by the time I open up a bank account, I'm like, dude, I got $10,000.
Damn! But it's
demos.
Skate shops paying for this, right?
Yeah. And the coolest thing is like I go back and I was like, dude, that one kid that asked me all the annoying questions was Keenan Melton. And he's hanging out with Dan Zimmer. And then I figured out later, I'm like, dude, that was you.
Wow.
I was like, holy cow, that's so cool. So there was a lot of things like that are awesomely memorable. Meeting a lot of people early on, and I figured it out not last week, but it would be like maybe 10 years ago. I was like, man, that was so cool. I didn't know that was you.
Speaking of that, real quick, dude, I met you early on at this shop demo called Rail Slide. It was you and Sheffy, and dude, I was like, I hadn't been to too many demos at that time, but it was in the Valley. It was in Reseda, and it was a cool thing for me to see you guys, because I think I'd just seen like the live video, and I had just seen Hocus Pocus, so I was kind of in awe. But I don't know if you remember this shit. So
I don't remember you, Jerron.
Yeah. It's fine.
Wait, what
It's
year?
all
What year
good.
is that?
This is probably 91, 90.
So,
90,
but right before Plan B or during Plan B?
maybe 89, 90, dude, to be honest. Yeah. So, yeah, this is before Plan B.
Before Plan B.
But Sheffy was there, so I don't know why you...
If it was Life, it's after Plan B. No. If it's Life, it's 8th Street era. So
yeah, so I think
right,
it was right.
yeah.
That's probably why you guys were on tour, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then look how much better a story gets. So then I've always... Before I knew about Hensley, I heard stories. Dude, there was a guy in Lafayette named Donnie, and Donnie had gone to the East Coast to live for a while, and he always told me about this guy, Sean Sheffy.
Dang.
So I always knew of the gnarliness, and Donnie brought back some pretty cool tricks that I would credit the East Coast with. They were Chinese ollies, not nollies.
Oh, yeah, off the bump.
Off the bump.
Off the little crack.
the little
cracks.
yeah.
I was
And
good at those, by the way.
I
Just want to
bet,
let you know.
because you're a tech guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Donnie used to do them on the ramp. It was so cool. You know how you could just wheelie back down? Small side note, that's how I figured out how to go into blunt. I was like, dude, I could nollie into blunt. I had a bag of blunt tricks, dude. I'm going to trade the one Sal Flip in for the bag of blunts. Okay?
Bag of bloods.
But anyway, that was cool because, look, then Sheffy comes out, and he's staying at my house.
Damn.
So now I get to hang out with him.
But he was known yet or no?
No, he was he was kind of known for SMA, remember? See, not that known if you don't remember.
Well,
right?
no, I don't. It was before my
his-
time.
yeah.
I'm like 95,
Okay,
so.
he was, everyone used to call him the Black Nodus because he had such pop, right? And so when he came out here, he was starting to ride for Ron Allen's company, Life. So when they were filming the Soldier Story, I got to film. I was with him the whole time. And then that became my roommate. He was staying with me, and then we were roommates. So I got to, all the heavy hitters I got to hang out and skate with, and that are my friends. That's why I said I won the lottery, dude.
Yeah. Pull up the Soldier Story.
And
real
I was
quick.
getting paid.
Sean
I mean, wow. And I didn't want to buy anything, so you can't beat it, right?
Yeah, save that shit.
Well, it's cool. Those demos really like kind of connected you with all the different like communities in skating, which is pretty amazing.
Well, I feel like that's what's missing now is like, say if we all jumped in the van, right? The shop might have $300.
really bad.
That's for like 5 people at least. And that $300 is going to cover the gas, the hotel, and it's not really going to cover that. But that's not the point, right? So, I think that's what's different. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is like it wasn't about the money. It was like it didn't matter. You were like, dude, you mean I can get in the van and go across the country and skate and stay and hang out and stay at that guy's house? So you jumped in. So that's why you had like that's how I know Trent from Cowtown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like because I went on 3 different company tours, and those guys are that's a hardcore skate shop. You know, they're like, I'll bring them through, and it was cool because sometimes in skating they didn't have the money to bring you through, and then sometimes you didn't have the money to get through, but everybody just made it work every year, and that's how I just met a lot of people. I know it's from where I'm from. You know, it's like one of the reach is so far. It's incredible because, I don't think people know that about me. It's like the first hero that I had that had his name on a board was Scott Stanton, right? Now, you say that around Navarrete, and he'll be like, oh, dude, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is,
I don't
right?
know who it is, no.
That's the first guy I've ever seen ride a ramp where no one was better than him, right? And he was from Florida, but he was coming to my Iggy, and Iggy had a ramp in Metairie, which is by NOLA, right? And that's where I first met Dennis. You know Dennis from Dennis from Digital.
Dennis.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis. Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
I know him since I was a kid.
Wow.
Because
okay.
he was at the ramp when I was riding the Powell Votto ramp with sandpaper disc for grip tape, right? And I was learning. That's the biggest ramp I ever dropped in on at the time. But he was there skating, and he was pretty good.
Wow.
So I remember all of that. And I just, I think him and Gentry could relate because I remember it's just so from moving around and being in different places and like, it was awesome, man.
Did you, when you went from H Street to Plan B, did Ternasky like put that team together? But I'm just curious, was there like a lot of money involved at first? Like a paycheck?
I think you could credit Mike with I think what people don't understand is like Mike wanted everybody to be able to make a living at skateboarding.
Right.
So, you could go from these high royalties and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Desert Storm era, like the thing is just bottom out. You're like, dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, not in the hundreds type payment, right?
Damn.
He's the first guy that was like, you know what? I'm making money off the video and the apparel. I'm making money off everything, wheels.
Right.
I'll give you guys no less than $2,500
Salary. Right.
He's the first guy
Damn.
to do that, and he didn't have to because who else did it? So what are you gonna say? I want to get it because they get it. It's just been like, that's what you sold.
Yeah, he could have followed the.
He could have just said, that's what you sold.
Status.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
We're not
right.
making money. And ever since then,
wow,
it's been the rule of anything that he did.
That was just across the boards. Everybody got it.
Some people got more.
Yeah.
But, it was
the minimum.
you couldn't make any less than that.
right.
And he was...
board royalties on top of that?
No, because
just
the board royalties weren't even making that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's like, I don't
Gotcha.
care. I make
Okay.
money on all this other stuff. You guys, I don't want you guys doing odd jobs and stuff. Go be a professional
Yeah.
skater. So any company that he ever did, he took care of people. The pressure of Rocco doing the same thing
Yeah.
is why other companies lost riders that got asked,
Yeah.
right? And the fact that I thought Rocco did it. I like clearly Plan B and all the stuff Rocco did. It was just cool, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
a product
yeah.
of it. You're like, it's cooler. So imagine it's like, imagine the poor guy killing himself, like, dude, all you made is $200, dude. And
Yeah.
then this thing Rocco comes along with like,
Just handing money out left and
well,
right.
just saying, dude,
Yeah.
why don't you ride for us? I'll pay you. That's what those guys pay you. So it kind of put pressure on everyone to get paid. It's like a union almost.
Sure.
And then today, that's why people get paid is because of that. And that's why when, Danny and Colin know how to take care of people, but they got that from Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
You know riding for girl.
They have the
that
same philosophy.
Yeah.
That exactly. They weren't like, Jerron, I don't know, man. You got $120 this month.
Nah.
They were like, nah, you got a guaranteed minimum.
Yeah.
And
it
in
was
skating,
the same of what you said.
and it hurts sometimes because you guys had a lot of people.
Totally.
So it's like
I was tripping at that time. Like, everybody's getting this, and some, like you said, some people are getting more. Like, look at that overhead, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're paying like over $20,000 a month just in riders.
No,
but the
more
cool
than-
thing
more
is,
than that.
More than that,
you know
yeah.
from it too, the cool thing is they're like, yeah, but that's the way it is.
Right.
You
Right.
know? There's
And-
a lot of greedy people. I don't know. That's why I always said, I know Steve from personal interactions. I don't know why people ever had a problem with the guy. I'm like, dude, he paid Javante well. He was awesome to tour with. He was a funny guy. He was most of the time he was either trying to skate or he was like trying to get some sort of entertainment where it was like his brother, I never forget it. His brother would always ask him for money, Sal, and he's like, dude, he's like, if you can beat Gervonta 1-on-1, and he's like, but it's got to be full court.
Oh, he
And I was
set up
like-
so many scenarios, though.
Yeah, I was like,
for his pleasure to like.
he was fun to be around. It was
sure.
funny, right?
For
And
sure.
he didn't care. He'd be like, Jerron, you want to go in Foot Locker?
It was crazy.
Get whatever you want to get.
It was so crazy.
So
What was
he
the
would-
most that you guys did you have that with
What's
him?
that?
With
No, I
Rock-
wrote for Plan B, but I was around.
Oh, okay.
I was around Steve on tours and stuff, and and every time I'd go back to Javonte's notorious for buying a new car every month, right?
It was.
So Javonte is like, I love him to death. He's still one of my best friends, but he's the guy that would probably be like, he probably invented cash advance for skateboard companies, right?
Probably.
He's like, you gotta let me get this. This is cold. It ain't gonna be there next month. And Steve was
Damn.
cool enough to be like, yeah, sure.
Wow.
So I thought he was cool, man. I was like, dude, the guy's a cool guy to ride for. Mike was a great guy to ride for. They were great
Yeah.
to work with because, Mike liked to skate too. I think that's why he tried to do it,
Both of them changed the game.
Yeah.
day.
For
Well, how
sure.
did so
Yeah.
8th Street? There was like it was before my time, I would say, but there was a lot of people on that. How did it get solidified into like a smaller group of people for Plan B?
Companies always have the same problem. Most people have 3 companies. If you talk about Templeton or Vallely or like most people that start companies end up having 2 or 3 because
Kareem.
Yeah.
something will happen because you have a partner or you set it up in a way where you've learned the hard way where it's like, I had to do another one. So 8th Street always had a lot of people on the team, and then they branched out. They did Life, which was Ron's, and they did Planet Earth, which was Chris Miller's. So that was one of the ways they were solving that problem. And then I think internally there might have just been some sort of like fallout, And then when that happens, somebody is like, I've had it happen, right? And you're like, all right, I'll take these guys with me.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what
Ternasky did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't you just knew for a fact you're going straight to Plan B, or was it more? Was
No.
it like,
The writers were mad though.
No,
weren't-
no, no.
Like, weren't the writers like over all the people on H Street? At
No.
that point?
It was a thing where, I would ask, I think, who did the first retirement video? Was that 8th Street or Plan B? It was Plan B, right? I think it was Plan B with Hensley. It was Hensley,
yes,
right?
possibly.
Could be. Yeah.
So I always thought about teams, the way I thought about teams, the way I did aesthetics, I'm like, Elwood Aesthetics. I'm like, I don't care what any of you guys say. These are the guys I like.
Yeah.
And in the end, they'll be legendary. They'll still be there. I got good taste. I don't need anybody's opinion. Go do the books. Get out of here.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. So, I don't look at anything as replacing people. I don't try to figure out who's going to be the next guy, which is probably why I always had problems with AMs. I don't have a problem with them, but I never had AM lineups, right? Really?
I mean, in my opinion, you had a dope, like you're having aesthetics like John Ige and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I was like, those dudes were sick. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those, the John and Jimmy,
Gorecki.
that's like, I like those guys. That's the team picking them.
Yeah.
Like someone on the team put them on, and obviously I approved it or they wouldn't have been on the team. But I had a hard time because the way I looked at everyone was like, when I did Elwood, I think people were saying that the guys I was getting were too old, right? Now who's on Elwood? Name it. It's like J1, Gino Iannucci, Keith Huffnagel, Scott Johnson, Jason Dill, Anthony Van Engelen. So I'm like these are the dudes I like, man. At the time, Termite Wood was out. So everyone's like, you got to get young. I go, no, you get those kids. I said, I have nothing against them. I just don't know who they are, and I'm not looking at them.
You know who was sick?
Yeah.
It didn't come from Termite, but came from 16 was Just In Case.
Hey, there are good kids
yeah.
on that. I'm not looking at them. I'm doing my other team.
But you put him on Elwood.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. You put me
Had a
on
cool
Elwood
name.
too.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So I got it. You're welcome.
You do make mistakes from time to time.
Barely ever. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
No, thank you, dude. I was hyped.
No,
So-
but I know what you're saying though. With the, I mean, you're also like you're fans of those guys, but they're also tied and true. They're also like established.
Well,
and,
that's
like,
when they
they're
were
gonna be
establishing. We're all kind of establishing themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it's like aesthetics. I didn't have the budget, but I was like, I always wanted Kenny Hughes. I wanted Donnie Barley. I wanted Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity, definitely with Scott, but I didn't have the budget. Coming when he was coming off Mad Circle, I felt like I didn't have the budget to do all those people. Same thing would happen with Elwood, but that's what I thought was cool. I could get people that wanted to ride for it.
Right.
And then you could pay them.
Yeah.
But then, like skating, if you invest, you see it happen with shoe companies all the time. You can find the guy, you can put the money into it, and then someone else will be like, well, you know what? I guess so. And they'll come along and take them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I don't have a problem with that if that's someone that looked at them and was looking at them the whole time and knows what they're doing. I just have a problem with people where it's like, you idiot. You had to have a bunch of people validate the guy for you to see he was any good.
Yeah.
Say, I don't have a problem like with, when original aesthetics lineup, I had Van Eaglen and Dill. Mm-hmm. Was I mad that they go to Alien? No, because Alien's a reputable company, and Carter. I know Carter. I know they knew what they were going for, right? I don't have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. I just have a problem with people that like decide that they need young guy, or now they need a legendary guy, or now they need a girl, or like it's like they're not even looking at them. They're looking for a category,
Right.
And I feel like that's what's watered the whole thing down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense.
Totally.
But wait, we were talking about Plan B, how the new squad was made, maybe.
Well, Ternasky was handpicking everybody.
Oh, is that what
he
it
was
was?
taking people from H Street.
I wasn't on the original lineup because I didn't know he was doing that, and I had the same thing in mind that he did, where it's like, dude, you cannot possibly take care of that many people, and I don't understand how there's a replacement for Mike Carroll. I'm like, dude, you got a lot of work to do to find that, and Rick, and
yeah.
that's where my mentality was, and then he said, hey man, I was punishing you because I know you talked to Steve.
Because you were trying to get on one of those companies.
And then luckily the team was like, I was fortunate that the team was like, yeah, dude, we had his back.
Right. Which team did you want to get on when you were talking to Rocco?
I didn't know he was going to do that. So everybody was thinking the same thing, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've been on teams like that where everyone's thinking the same thing anyway. Who's going to say it? I'm the bad guy because I always say stuff. Right? And then when I stopped saying stuff, people are like, why didn't you say anything? They were like, we're all thinking that. You let him do that? I was like, hey, they told me I couldn't talk anymore. You guys do it now. So I don't know. I liked... come on, it was like an extension of Plan B was basically a world team anyway, right?
It was.
Pretty much.
I think a lot of people got it almost mixed up.
So I was like, fine, I want
Yeah, they
to
thought it
do
was
one
under
of
the
them.
roof in that sense.
Yeah, so I always like that. I like those are people I like.
Right. I mean, blind section.
Blind 101.
Yeah.
I mean, they're powerhouse over there.
Yeah,
World.
you would have taken any of those, It's
Yeah,
like-
100%. But I also feel that Plan B was up here. And the rest, listen, World and Blind and all that, like they had the amazing writers, but I always felt like Plan B was a little higher elevated.
I mean, look,
they were elevated.
They didn't have Plan B out yet, so that's why I was like, well, they're not doing another thing, and it's and at the time I think for a week I rode for the original Underworld Element. Because how Andy Howell had asked me, Julian was riding for it, was Rick was on it too, right? The OG
Abicetta?
one, right?
Or
Yeah.
Rick Howard.
Abicetta.
Yeah, Abicetta.
Yeah, so the lineup was strong.
Right.
Clearly I'm a Julian fan, so I was like, yes. And then, but I got history with Mike, and I love, those are my favorite skaters. I love Danny, I love Sheffy, I love like Rick, I love Mike.
Wasn't there an ad that had like a bunch of names?
Yeah.
And like some
Yeah,
names
they were
crossed out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember that, but I don't remember the names.
But they were all made up. Like they weren't going to be, not made up names, but they
Were just people that they didn't ask permission.
Right,
and they just
right,
put it
right,
in there.
Right. But I mean, like the legendary, dude. Like when Questionable came out, that was gnarly.
Yeah,
like that was a video that like changed the direction of skating.
Yeah, those
Big
those
time,
Like
Real-
for
real
real,
quick.
yeah.
those things are so
Yeah.
hard to film for, dude.
But
Yeah.
back then, were you really like going?
Dude, look
because-
how long I have been skating, dude. No, I'm saying like
That's like cramming for
I
a test.
could have
right
held
there.
my own. I could have held my own in the boneless era. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
like I could have like. So it was like, that's a long reinvention and progression. Like,
But it was quick.
it was
though.
hard to do that, man.
But you went from like 8th Street in '89 to like literally like a year and a half filming for the Plan B video. Like it was like
Yeah.
pretty quick.
A lot was happening right then.
Yeah.
Man.
It was hard to do, and skating was like.
Progressing fast.
Well, we always had to kind of. It was a never been done thing in most of those videos, right? So
Yeah.
some of the things you want to do.
Like the red shoes.
That's funny because that right there, people were always saying that was an accident. I'm like, why would I manual that? Like, dude, I've been doing that manual since I learned that from George Brown. I was like, I've been doing that manual since bottle rat wheels.
Imagine
dude.
if
Like,
that was an
Bones
accident.
wheels, dude.
Imagine if that was an accident.
That
Oops.
wasn't, dude.
I'll just keep
that
it
was my
going.
manual, dude.
just
That
keep
was
it
my
going.
manual trick.
That's so
You know,
sick.
Did you feel pressure filming for this, or did it kind of come natural?
it was. I always wanted to jump down crazy stuff and go down big things, and then this is when I started getting over it because it was like you had to kind of, you know, you gotta get in an NBD world. You know what I mean? You kind of have to go in a maybe. Look, there's no mini ramps or there's certain rules that come with it. You know what I mean?
Like
I mean,
the music coming in these videos too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
8th Street was like, I try to use a rap song. Like, we're going back. People won't. This is old stuff. I feel like you have to put a bunch of goofy boys next to me to get a true time period and be like, look, dude, this is like some current, like, like in a field of weirdness. Like, this is okay. So
That was
trick,
gnarly right
yeah.
there.
if you go back to that,
That front crook. Damn, dude.
I'll eat into it.
Yeah.
Almost back nose blunt.
Yeah.
that back nose blunt was hard back then, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, was that back
top of-
nose point? Was that
top of-
transfer back
It
nose point?
No, that was a little crooky.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
it was a
but-
cookie. He was on
okay.
top of that.
But to get, I remember trying to. I learned the regular ones pretty early on, like on sidewalks, without being able to lean on the other side. But the backside one was like, damn. That was before you could figure out. It was kind of like a backside disaster. Remember early on, it was like you're trying to ollie over it.
Oh, like back nose from
You
the
don't even
side?
understand it,
Yeah.
Because in Hensley,
This
A lot
cut,
of-
That
a lot
angle
of
right
pressure,
there, got in
a
front
lot of
him.
that pressure stuff, huh?
well, this cut right here was this Ternasky thing. Like, oh, okay, if you do this, I'm gonna then film from here.
I'm gonna cut it and get in front of you.
Yeah,
remember filming that?
I love filming with Ternasky, Daniel Sturt, and
Yeah.
Dave Sloshbach.
Oh my God!
Once
legends.
those guys don't film anymore, I hate filming, and then I don't really want to film.
Legends.
I don't. You know what I mean? And that's when I went on strike.
After they stopped.
Well, I don't want to film when Mike passed away. It's not
Yeah,
fun. And then
right.
Dan Sturt isn't filming. I'm not getting to film with him anymore. And then
Sloshbach was around.
Sloshbach disappeared a long time ago from filming, but it was great filming all those weird little those and one mixtapes he would make where, you know,
Dude, this is
weird,
so good.
poor quality cameras and just lots of ankles and lights. Remember,
man.
like there'd be a little light on top of the camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or this is the best when the car lights.
Oh yeah, that's
Park the car.
That's crazy.
The
huh?
front
You're
and
gonna-
back.
Yeah. We're gonna light this spot up, pull the car in,
That was
put
well
the high
lit.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
How long did it take you to film that one?
Those were quick, man.
Well, like what? 5 months?
Not even. Those were quick. Those were like, okay, what am I doing? You know, like,
After questionable virtual reality popped
were
up like
quick.
dumb quick.
Yeah, within
yeah,
a year.
Within
those
a
are
year.
quick, and you could tell if you look at someone's like jeans and shoes, and you're like, oh, they're kind of the same. You know what I mean?
What do you mean the same?
Meaning like you have the same outfit on. You didn't destroy
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It was not that long of a
Like
period of
a
time.
lot of the red shoes are the same red shoes.
Yeah. Those were which ones were those?
Those were the wraps.
The wraps.
The highest.
Those are the highest, right?
Yeah.
The Etnies?
I cut them down.
Yeah. Oh, you cut them down.
Yeah.
And it
Was
was
that
still
the-
high.
But they started doing the original Etnie wraps through that one?
Well, I'll tell you the original way that shoes got designed, right?
Yeah.
I was on tour with Matt Hensley. There was the tail end of the good looking airwalks, right? So we're driving all through like the Indianas and all the places, right? And I was like, the shoes were always wrecking my outfit, man. And I just could not. I skated in everything. I skated in Capas, Avias, like every random weird shoe I tried. I spent a lot of money on them, and they were like, dude, it was something crazy, like like weapons or something. I was like, dude, that sole is like, I might as well wear a couple of balls on my foot, dude. It was like, it was driving me crazy. And I said, Matt, dude, I was like, remember all the cool stuff, Asoy and Hawk and, Animal Chin, like the Pumas, the Clydes, and what happened to all the shell toes and everything from that era, dude? And so we went and made it a point to go into every Marshall's on the tour, right? And you would just find these gyms. So that was my R&D, but you couldn't, like, I found the Run DMC shell toes, and they had elastic, and the tongue was super thin. And I was like, this is the coolest looking shoe that skates like absolute crap. Now, this is how a lot of skate shoes got made, and this is what it did invent at Etnies. When I had the Nodus and I had all the red ones, and I had all the Adidas and stuff, and the Nikes, I'd buy all the Nikes I get were like made out of some bad plastic, like in Big Five.
With
Not
like
in Big
patent leather
Five.
type shit? Or like.
I don't know, dude. I just buy. That was when they weren't making all the stuff that they make now. So they were making horrible shoes. So you try to find like, can I please find an Air Force One or something, which is too thick anyway. But I'd find all these random one-off looking things, and I'm like, dude, this is made out of like lotion plastic or something. I was like, dude, you cannot grip the board. So it was driving me absolutely crazy. And I noticed that they all had cardboard in them, and I was like, dude, you cannot feel anything. So I would yank the insole out, I would pull the cardboard out. So the first thing I developed when I got to the wraps, and I used Duran in this example all the time. I'll get to you, Duran. No, I was yanking the cardboard out of the wraps, right? And I said, dude, I said, these shoes are like, Hensley is the first guy I saw cut down shoes. So he cut them down, Airwalks. And I was like, God, that looks so cool. The guys always look cool. And I was like, I'm going to cut these wraps down. So I cut them down, and I ripped the cardboard out. And I was like, I just can't. They won't stay on my foot, man. So I put something under the tongue to get it to stay on the foot, right?
What'd you put under there? Another tongue.
Another tongue
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Right.
So that's why we were the first to make that.
The
was
double
because
tongue.
Pierre started making just a tongue that you could put under stuff, right?
I didn't realize that was because of the cardboard was taken out. That's actually pretty funny.
No, the cardboard just wouldn't flex.
Yeah.
So I said, hey man, I go, what in the world happened to the? They stopped making the wrap, right? It was red, black,
And blue.
and blue.
Okay,
And I
right.
said, dude, you realize, I go, you did the hardest thing. It's like Rudy, Jerron, Guy, everybody wears it. They don't get them from you, dude. That means they're probably trading for it or something.
Nah, he sent me a box.
No, but no, in the beginning,
Don Brown.
okay. But if you go before that, I think when everybody had them, it was like a blind gene thing.
Oh, well, they would just send some probably to World or some shit.
No, before that, I think it was a blind gene thing where it's like, dude, I want blind genes. I'll trade my boards in for it.
Right.
I felt like that is where a lot of people had them.
Possibly. I'm not me. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Again,
I know.
'cause
No,
Don was
you
sending-
guys were
Yeah.
upper level sponsorship guys. So,
Yeah.
but that in the start, I was like, dude, they all wear them. Like, why would you discontinue it? You remember the
that
day
makes-
they stopped making it, right?
Probably shortly after that. I wouldn't. it wasn't around that long after when I was first getting them.
Yeah,
And then I was
and
like,
they
all of a sudden,
stopped
I was like,
making
damn,
them.
why you guys stop making them?
And that
But
drove
everybody
me
was
crazy.
wearing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this. That's why I still run into this problem today. Not there, but with other things. I'm like, I don't want to talk to people anymore. I'm like, dude, I don't know where you're getting your intel, but I don't. It's like, look, I said they were all wearing them. I was like, what are you doing? I said, the problem was I would take it, cut it, spray paint it, change the lace, do all that. So the logical step was to make it in a low top.
Right.
Yes.
But that's what we invented there was like, that's where the puffy tongue comes from. That's where ripping the car butt out, and that's where making the shoe bigger comes from.
Bulky.
Because they wanted to pad it. So Pierre,
What is this?
Don, and I say we're equal in that development, right?
Yeah.
Because their idea was to make it more puffy. I wanted it slimmer. Pierre, like I said, caught on quick and was like, wants to make a puffy tongue that you could just slide in and out. And then Don and Pierre were inseparable back then, so they probably worked on it together.
Yeah.
And I loved. That's not the OG Nodus. There's the other one.
Yeah.
And that's the one I always pull cardboard out. And then the wraps that come out after look really similar to the Nodus. So I'm proud of the fact that I say that there are two types of identities in skateboarding if you're casting a movie. Gleaming the Cube and Thrashing have an 80s aesthetic. And you can dress that. Someone that doesn't know about skating can be a wardrobe stylist and pull that off and do it.
Okay.
Right? Okay, the other one is clearly done in the 90s movie.
Yeah.
And that's Etnies. I credit them, working with them. That shoe, that's where those things come from. We don't get that from anyone else. And at the time, there are no... That was a... You would know it too. That was when it was like skate shoes took over. And like it or not, it was rap rock skate shoes. We had our own world, and it was like rap rock skate shoes, moto dudes, BMX, surf, like. And if you went into a chain store, it was interesting because it was like, dude, there was only those shoes in there.
Like Pac Sun, maybe.
Pac Sun,
Yeah.
it was like they weren't selling anything, and then Champs and nobody would sell to them. And they always asked, and we're like, no, we're cool. We have our own industry.
Yeah.
And it was like you had to go in those stores, and it was a prosperous time because that's when you had like, hey, let's do Duffs, let's do Performance. Alfonso's saying, let's do
Sheep.
Ezekiel had a
Yeah.
footwear line, right?
Castell.
Castell,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, let's do audio. Like,
Plentiful.
so Etnies shaped that. Young kids don't know that.
Right.
So you quit talking smack about what you don't know. And that
Vision Streetwear, though, was definitely a big culprit of that,
no,
too.
Vision Streetwear was different, and Airwalk was different.
Yeah.
Because that goes with the Airwalk goes with the 80s. Like Airwalk is all over the 80s movies, Gleaming the Cube, all that. But Airwalk, let me explain. Airwalk was on a regular last. That's why Airwalks were very similar to Jordans. They were a thin, narrow shoe. Right? Now, what's the other one you said? Vision Streetwear. Vision Streetwear were not puffy shoes. They were on a regular last. The suede one that Ray Barbie always wore looked like a Converse.
It did.
They were shaped regular. So that means if you know anything about shoe development, when you go into a factory, those are kind of the last that are there that they make regular shoes on. It isn't till these guys say, hey, if you mention skate shoes after Etnies, factories would always pop up and say, oh, you're making skate? And they had that puffy last.
Yeah.
They had a new look.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the shoe brands would have this standard issue last for everything
That was
else.
why I liked the Nada shoe, because
Yeah.
it was a standard, regular, LS looking shoe. I thought it was a cool looking shoe. I didn't think it gripped well. I didn't like the cardboard in it. I thought it was too high, but I thought it was the best looking shoe at the time.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of like rubber on that shoe.
No, the first one, yeah. I think
there was the black one that had like a ton of rubber on it.
that the first one had rubber, but then when
Yeah.
they remake it,
Okay.
I don't think I like the first one from the Sick Boys era. You know, the Mickey Rays, the Julian Stranger, the Nodis. That's why I ride for Etnies. I was like, that looks cool.
Yeah.
I love Nodis. I love Julian. I like Sick Boys. I like Mickey. I want to ride that shoe. That's how I got turned down by Pierre when I tried to get a free pair.
Well, how did
What do you mean? What happened?
That's a long-winded story everyone knows. I just went to the trade show, and I was like, I'm not going to ride Airwalk. I can't wear them anymore. They look crazy. They started making them shoes that were like taller than Ronnie James Dio concert boots. You know, they were this tall, and then they put like a mag wheel on the. Remember?
Yeah, dude.
I was like, dude, I can't. What are these, dude? I was like, I'm done. I was like, I guess I'm back in Marshalls, right? And then I saw that shoe, and I was like, look at this cool looking black shoe, and I think someone even do a contrast white lace in there. And I was like, dude, I want that thing. I have to skate in that shoe. So I went to the trade show, and I was like, dude, I need to buy these right now. And he's like, we don't sell them.
Damn.
What do you mean? Like we don't
At the
sell
trade
them?
show.
Oh,
At
The
at
trade
the
show.
at the show.
It was in
Okay.
I lived in downtown San Diego, and I was skating, and I went in the show, and I'm like, dude, I talked to Pierre. I said, I have to buy these right now, man. I'm trying to film something. I was filming something, and I wanted to take a picture, and I needed that shoe. I didn't have anything else I liked. And he just like, we don't sell them here.
Oh my.
Did he know who you were?
He did the day, like, right after.
He's like, oh, that dude.
It was like the next day. He's like, come by and get whatever you want.
Okay.
And that's how the relationship started. So my advice to kids is, look, you know, I have a hard time with AMs, and I deal with a lot of young kids and stuff. And the reason being is like, you know, look, I wanted to ride for SMA, and I wanted to ride for H Street. Those were the two, right? I rode those boards, man, before I had a conversation or even thought I would ride for them.
Yes.
I didn't ride for other people when they asked, because I was like, why? I will quit if these guys ever ask me. That goes a long way, because you can block yourself. You can look like a kook straight up for riding for something wacky.
Yeah.
And if that ain't the case, everybody knows everyone. So someone could be like, I can't put in a word for you because that's Rick's boy.
Right.
So you're cool there. We don't want to take his guy. He always talks about you.
Yeah.
So the thing is, ride for who you want to ride for, but ride the product before. Don't be. It's pretty arrogant for someone to say, dude, I'd ride for girl. Wow, thanks. They need you. Please grace them by riding for them, and you haven't even ever ridden or bought anything they make, and you don't like. Yeah, please.
Right.
Rick's waiting. So
It's
I'm like,
He's
dude,
waiting for your call.
quit being a kook, and that's how I went about it. I wanted to ride. I rode for everything that I wanted to ride for.
Right.
I rode for a while. My trucks were merely wheel holders, right? Well, from the foot plan era, you know, like I told you, it might be a gull wing base plate with a tracker bottom.
It's like Frankenstein trucks.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the back was tight and the front was loose, right? And these are ugly shaped vert boards, right? So the more I got into technical skating, it just came to a point where I could not ride trackers, right? And I was getting paid and everything, right? And I couldn't ride them. So I was like, man, I ride indies. And I told Greg Carroll, I said, man, I'm just going to ride indies. I said, they're the ones that work, man. I said, they work. I'm shocked that I didn't know that you could just put these things on and turn the wrench and I could turning.
Yeah.
And, you know, I did that. And then as a result, I was just riding them. I didn't need, what could you get off a truck if you were lucky? $100 a
I was
month?
going to say
Back
150,
then?
200.
100 was pimping.
Yeah.
I was like, my take on it was like, dude, I need trucks. You need trucks every 8 months back then too,
Yeah,
right?
you
I was
need
like,
too often.
okay, so what? I'll just ride them. I'm not going to ride for anything I can't ride. I'm going to lose a lot of magazine placement and all that and whatever, but it's not who I am. It's not an honest thing. And I was at Embarcadero, and Fausto said, I heard what you said, man. word got back to him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to pay you, and you can ride for Indy.
Sick.
Now, had I not been honest with myself, that opportunity would have never came along.
You could have still been riding gull wings and all kinds of crazy.
I could have
trucks right
taken what most people do and take a super embarrassing wheel holder deal that I would not want to be,
Wheel holder.
not for you to mention right now. But I'm like, why don't do that, dude?
I did that shit.
I know, and I think less of you for it. What was the truck company? Can you even name it?
I know.
Grind King.
Grind King.
All day. Yeah, I wrote
You
Grind
better
King.
watch it. You're in Venice, fool.
And it didn't help. It didn't help my skateboarding. I could say that.
They did have a good kingpin.
now.
Yeah,
That-
the thought
the
process
inverted-
behind
Revolutionary.
it. For sure. But beyond that.
But if you wanted to ride, I'm not knocking people that ride for who they want to ride for. I just don't think anything should ever be used as a stepping stone. Or
I feel you on that.
Or
understand.
I just don't think you should have the attitude. I'd ride for you. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose
Right.
of, that's weird. So
When I see sponsor me tapes, or I mean, I don't know, like,
that you get it.
yeah, no, you're like, dude, you're riding all girl boards. Send that to girl, dude. You want to ride for girl? Go try to ride for them. Don't use us as like. I'm just saying that. Not that I've dealt with it, but that would be a situation. Don't use us as a stepping stone to get to where you want to go.
I
Like you're
agree.
sending me, like if you're running Nikes, and you send me a tape, you're like, hey,
Yeah, I want to.
I want to skate for S. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why don't you're wearing all Nikes? Why don't you just?
And we've seen skaters who have like wanted to get on the team, and all they did was like buy the shoes and skate for and
Yeah.
ride the shoes, and then then they get on.
It
I
does
would
happen.
a lot
Yeah.
of riders like. I mean, TJ was one that kept wearing the shoes. He
Yeah.
would just get them, and then I'm like, dude, this kid's fucking amazing. Like so. I'm just saying that's
So that's the problem I have. It's like I've started Aesthetics, right? Again,
Yeah.
just because we all skate, and the biggest thing is I don't want to walk into a shop and try to figure out how to get a concave and a board that I could ride. So I'm like, no, dude, I'm still into it. My boys are still into it. It's my thing. I don't care. I'm gonna make stuff.
wanna make,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
Now, I get a lot of that where people are like, I would ride for it. And it's just the same thing. It's like, thank you. Was waiting for you. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, well, show me that you would ride for it.
Right.
Get out there. And I tell people, I'm like, look, man, if you're out there doing your thing, everybody knows you're doing your thing. So you could ride for whoever. That's not my rule. If nobody's asking you, then you're just not in the NBA, dude.
yeah.
It's okay to be a consumer.
Right.
Because like that's the difference I see was in the the 90s. It was smaller, but everybody kind of rode for who they just rode for what they wanted to ride for outside of trucks.
Yeah.
and then it would just come
That was in
around.
the 2000s, bro.
It would just come around. And I don't knock on anybody for doing anything, but it's like when people ask me, how come you don't get new kids? I'm like, because I haven't found one that I like. How's that? I mean, I see a lot of talent and people that I like, but I know they're riding something else, and that's fine. That they're on some other stuff, you know what I mean? But I guess that's the harshest thing when kids ask me, I'm just like, dude, if you take a guy like Jamie Foy, you know what I mean? It's like, he could ride for anything. Go get him. Like, you got to be that good.
Yeah.
Or you could buy his stuff. It's like, that's what it is.
I actually I laugh at the fact that how many people he went through to get to where he's at. He was on flow for like 3 different companies, just doing his thing, and then no one saw it.
I mean, skating means a lot of different things to everybody that's on the right track. It means the same thing. You just ride it because you like to do it. We're done.
Yeah.
Okay. But when now when you get into how people are trying to get paid and ride for this or that, I like, that's what I tell them. I say, man, you're in a league and you're having fun, but respectfully, there's the bar. Like, it's Nija, it's Jamie. It's like, don't tell me you don't skate like that, or you don't want to do that, or I don't like his style. Don't tell me none of that, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like being an NBA player and saying, I don't like layups and jump shots. I don't want to put up 38. I don't want to screw Kobe. I didn't put up 38. I'm doing my own thing, dude. As a matter of fact, I'm starting my own basketball league because this one is just horse crap.
Yeah.
So that's the most valuable advice anyone could give.
That's a pretty good analogy.
It's like do it. If you're gonna do it, or be a consumer.
So are you planning on like getting the whole aesthetics team going, or are you just doing it like what's your vision?
Yeah, I would like to. I mean, I
Yeah.
try to find people that I could work with at Etnies. I try to find people that I could work with at Aesthetics.
Yeah.
What's up with aesthetics, dude?
It's out. You know, I make boards. I sell them direct to consumer. I have distributors I've been picking up, you know, and it's like, that's what it is. You know, it's, you still work with guys that want a certain shape, which is cool. They're into it. You know, that's not my Instagram, but
Joey Pepper.
Oh,
Is
this
this
is like
yours?
a pure
This is a
like
fan?
it's a fan page.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a tribute to the page. Oh, wow.
which
So-
is super dope.
So I like that the guys are so into it that they're like, I need a 7 and 7/8. You know,
Right.
like I'm like, yeah, they skate. They're not like, put my name on it. I'm gonna cross my finger that I can milk some money out of it. It's like, you know, Clyde's always out skating,
Yeah.
having
Clyde's
a good
a
time.
man, straight up.
Rob skates, but doesn't like anyone to see him do anything.
Rob's
Why,
man, too.
dude? Rob is like one of the. I don't know. People kind of knew this, but his mini ramp skills are pretty incredible, dude.
He got good on bowls, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a guy that, you know, never rode them.
Look at there. Here we go.
But that's kind of my thing. Is like I'll just find my favorite skaters at the time, and I would
Yeah.
sponsor them, right?
That collab you
Nice.
did with Pals was one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
I love it. It was a
That was
tribute.
rad.
It was a tribute by them, and it was cool to, you know, just have someone in that position to be like, dude, we're really inspired by what you do.
Yeah.
Like, we want to do this collaboration tribute style, and it's like, yeah,
It's a great collection.
Really-
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
good at, they're good
I
at
love
that.
They got
Yeah.
skateboard history over there. They know what's up.
yeah. I think they're huge Rob fans. That's why you,
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you see the New England.
Oh, I have the jersey. I have it at my house.
Oh,
I
nice.
rock it. Yeah, but yeah, that was really good collab. Was that hard to? How was that working with him on that? Like,
It was easy because they wanted to do a tribute, so I said, go for it. I don't come in and put input. I'm like, however you want to interpret.
like whatever you saw from what we did, let's do that. And then,
Yeah, you know, I had a couple of boards that didn't make it in time, which is kill me because that's what I worked on with my artists, right? But I just didn't.
okay.
They got a professional deadline.
They got
over
a
there.
strict timeline
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
It's not very.
Calendar is
it's not.
strict.
It's not on skate time.
Yeah. This is
But clearly, that's
yeah.
yeah, that's
New England.
I would
Right.
wear that. And people are like, yo, what's? You should
They think
rock it."
you're a Patriots
I'm like,
guy,
no,
right?
not at all. But you've seen, you know, what aesthetics is, and yeah.
Yeah, it's rad.
And unfortunately, the block runs small, right? So everything I got in a large, I can't wear.
Oh, yeah, that jersey. I got a large. It was small.
It's too small.
Yeah.
And a sweatshirt. I can only wear the hats, and I'm just like
sick.
kills me.
But they didn't get. Oh, and they probably. I mean, they didn't have a lot left over for you. It's probably sold all of it.
They
huh?
sold it, and then the seating was like done in a professional manner.
Yeah.
So I feel like I missed the window to get the seed because when I asked for more, they sent me regular Palace stuff, which I'm not mad about.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, they're out of it.
Right. That's not a bad problem.
No, no,
People
no.
people like it.
I seem to have that problem with a lot of things I do.
Well, listen. We were talking about the 23 before the show, and I was asking how many iterations has there been of the Sal 23? I mean,
I
it's
really
been-
can't keep count because I know it goes from Etnies to S,
To S,
and then
yeah.
there's a reissue with
Well-
Etnies, and then there's a reissue with S, and then
Right.
I wanted to ask because I went into the office somewhat recently. Rick Marmolejo. There's an old catalog, and there was a point where it first came out where there was like 3 different like iterations.
I could tell you.
Yeah.
Like, use the
Oh.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This freaking Action Sports juice is killing me, dude. Okay, now back to the plate. Doesn't everyone know by now how many iterations there are?
No,
No,
but like,
I mean,
no,
I feel like
there
every
was-
time I look, there's like a different 23.
on that catalog, it had like there's in the same catalog, it had like one had like a different side panel and one had like a toe cap and one had like this
Because the first one starts without. They didn't want to put my rubber feature on it, so it doesn't have rubber on it. Correct.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
side.
And then it has an extra piece after that.
and then it had like I don't know. It was like I had never seen. It was all in the same catalog.
because
though.
they make it and then they have stock in it, and they're ordering the new one. It's like a last season thing.
But this was like in '95 or
That's
something.
what I mean. Like they when they get the new one out, they're still selling the old one.
But how would they? Why did the shoe change? In that, I wish there was a photo of it or something.
Because the first one that came out, which I've donated the sample, I had the very two first samples. I gave them to the Smithsonian.
Oh, really?
Yes, so that's where they're at.
Okay.
I was going to do an NFT thing
Is that in Paris?
and retire, but
How did that go?
but I'm not that type. I wanted to share with the skate community.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah, the
that.
NFT
Yeah.
would be great.
So yeah, the first one, it did not have my soul on it. It had
That's
an
right.
existing soul that I wanted my own soul. I want my own thing, man. So
they
I wanted
put
my own
on an
soul.
existing soul. Okay.
That's what it was.
And the rubber, they didn't want to put it on the very first time
Why?
because they didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. So
Why did you want it on? For the Ollie guard?
I didn't like the fact with all the R&D on all the shoes that I skated. That was kind of when you didn't have to be so crispy and fresh all the time, right? And all those shoes that had cardboard and bad rubber compounds, they kind of took a while to break in. So I always had an issue where I was like, man, if someone bought this thing and by the time they broke it in, the whole entire side was removed and gone, like, that just wouldn't be that cool, man.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm a shoe guy, so I always knew like about alternative like rubbers and things on ACGs, and aesthetically, I was like, oh, that'll aesthetically look cool, but at the same time, it'll be function, right?
So when did they give you
Your soul.
to go forward with the new soul?
The second round was the sole and the rubber.
What year did the first shoe come out?
It'd have to be. I'm bad with it. Is it 90?
I was gonna say
3-ish?
90. I was gonna say 93 or 94.
Yeah.
Got to be around that time, yeah.
I would maybe say 94. I don't know. But then it went to
1994, 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went over to S in 96.
See, look at this is
Oh wow.
This is the one with no ollie or no rubber.
Yeah, that's the one that I donated. That's the first sample.
Okay.
Damn.
That's crazy, dude.
It's probably got. See, there's no cardboard in it. I think I ripped that out too.
And there's no 23.
23, yeah.
No, that is the very first sample.
Wow.
That was Ken Block was like, you got to put the number on there, dude.
That's amazing.
Was there a time when you couldn't put the number on there and they flipped it?
No, Nike had no idea that skateboards were made.
They didn't have any idea.
No.
Right.
I feel
yeah.
like we asked you this
Off the
before.
radar. I
but,
know,
like,
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
23?
Because it wasn't, it's two sides of it. When you skate, when you're first doing it, like back then, when you're you haven't even peaked out on how much you love it. What do? All you do is skate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about football, basketball, MMA. Like, you skate. That's all you do. And it's us against them. So it was kind of like, I love Jordan because everything about it, and it was kind of like a inside us versus them joke. You know what I mean? It was like, bitch, I got one too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's what it is. It's like an us versus them thing. You have to understand, every graphic I had was kind of like paying homage or like an inside joke. Think about it. My first board, I kind of didn't like a lot of the graphics that were in the drawer ready to go. So my first board, I said, man, take this LA Kings thing and reappropriate it, right? So I've always done that. It was like, what's the second one? Take this Raider thing, continue it. You know what I mean? And then the third one, I have Chicago Bulls boards, like Jordan, it's like, well, just reappropriate the thing. So it was kind of like stuff that wasn't semi-influencing me, but at the same time, it's it's an inside joke,
Right.
kind of. It was like when I put when the Rough Riders was on the Aesthetics board, the Rough Riders were not cool to people in skate, correct?
Yeah. I mean,
So it's like kind of like that. Thank you. So I like them. We like them.
I liked it.
No, so when you make it, it's like you're not trying to get rich off the Rough Riders logo. It's kind of like it's like an inside thing, right? And that explains, like, I did it. You know, all my boards are like that. So I did a Jordan board. I put the worst Jordan ever made on a board and made it like a Master P album cover, right? You've seen that Aesthetics board, right?
I don't think
I don't know if I have.
Okay, that series has like a bunch of graphics like that, and you know, the newer kids looking at it like, dude, he doesn't even know Jordans. That's like the worst Jordan. It's like, yeah,
That's a point.
That's the point, dude. Like, as a professional skateboarder, you're like, why? It'd be cool if I put the best Jordan on a board. It's like, no, it's kind of like, dude, I come from the era of, like, I'm a backyard ramp era. It's carried over where it's kind of like, it's us versus them, man. You know what I mean? A lot of that is dry, deeply rooted, dry humor. It's like when Crail Tap made the Tap Out graphic. They weren't trying to capitalize on Tap Out, dude. It was like, dude, this is funny.
Right.
So it's like, you know, as generations go on, all that humor gets lost, but it's just like, that's what it is. That's what all my boards are. I have a history of, like, I didn't call Polo to make that board. You know, it was like, it's a Polo board, dude.
Yeah. So you just said, hey, put 23 on there.
I had, like, it's like I had it on boards and stuff. And
It was
Ken-
already a thing.
Well, you
right.
had your board company, but
Yeah.
that came later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it on certain things, and Ken was like, dude, you should just put that on that board, dude. I mean, he's like, you should just put that on the shoe on the corner, on the bottom down there. He's like, put it on there.
Perfect.
Oh, so it really the inspiration came from him to do that?
From who?
From
Ken
Ken?
Block.
No. I lived with him, and if you know, the first DCs were developed with
Yeah, that's right,
Etnies.
yeah.
So I lived with him, and that was my good friend, and we were always like, we were kind of like shopping together, bouncing ideas for footwear stuff, right? We were hanging out when he wasn't working. He was a workaholic, but it was like, you know, we were looking at all types of stuff, and he's the best guy ever at marketing, I thought. So he
You're
just
like-
threw it out there.
In a weird way, all the stories you have is like Forrest Gump-ish, where like you're at every time zone and like you've met every cool person that have influenced skateboarding.
That's what I said. I'm thankful for it.
Yeah,
And it's like,
really
like
cool.
I said, starting from the backyard ramp where it's like, you know, I see Scott Stanton, but then I make it to Houston a lot, and I'm a shadow, and I'm watching all of those guys, and I end up on the same team with them temporarily on Epic Skateboards, but they all have models and stuff. You know, it's Pennington, Donaldson, you know, and it's like an incredible time. And then, you know, I get out here and see just all that and start my own things, but it's like a long, like I said, I think Crumb and Gentry, because I saw them then and they never left, you know, so it's like a long-winded, like, wow, that's crazy that, you know, we can look back at it and be like, dude, that's a lot of things that most people won't remember or have had the opportunity to meet certain. I've seen a lot of gnarly people from different eras and generations, but probably before a time where you could document it, you know, like seeing Scott Stanton on that ramp was mind blowing, you know, seeing that a horrible ramp with like pallets on the flat bottom, and then seeing this guy like try to throw up a 540. That's one of the ramps where you can't do certain tricks on this side. You have to go to that side, and you have to be in that corner. And it's like seeing that guy do all this stuff and look really good at it. It was like, wow. Then Pennington, if you're from Texas, you get it. That was like watching. That's equivalent to me seeing Matt Hensley on Street when I saw him ride ramps. It was like, wow, dude. It was like incredible. You know, the stuff he would do. He looks like Hensley on vert. His style looks like Hensley on vert to me, right?
Scott Stanton.
No, Stanton looks like Scott Stanton.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Here's a Scott Stanton.
I mean, this is when I'm dropping in. You know what I mean? I'm kick turning
Damn,
on the next
right.
wall.
You look
Right.
tall.
Like, this guy's was incredible, dude. You know? And then when you get to Pennington and videos don't do justice. This is like,
Sure.
it's hard to even have footage of people back then, you know?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Damn.
Great. I didn't mean to just go off the 23 route, but
No, I mean,
I was just saying, like, it's cool to hear all these stories. You're like, oh yeah, I lived with Ken Block, which was like a huge part of skateboard footwear and growing it. It's just funny to hear the story of you developing the 23.
and that's why we were asking, like, how many iterations have there been? Because I feel like every year or I feel like there's been so many. Like,
Well,
puffy,
there
thin,
gets a thing where they reissue it.
Right.
I think they've, you know, there was slimmer versions, some with people that reissued, and
Yeah.
then sometimes when they brought it back, like the S was slimmer, right?
Right.
I think it's like better left when you don't alter it, you know?
Well,
Totally.
when you get into like a like a Malbon, that you have like a collab with them, is that like from the ground up almost too, or is
Yeah,
that
because
like,
that's a different last and a different soul,
It's
and
a-
it's just like it has enough of the characteristics where you know that it's like inspired by that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just a golf version,
sure?
so it works, you know.
And then how are you involved with? Because I like those. I like those colors. I like the green and
Yeah, the white
and
ones look
ones
super
are
good.
super clean.
It's a good
like the white
silhouette
green
too.
too, yeah.
The good.
The white
It's a
too.
good
Yeah, that's a
shape.
really good shape.
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
the last was great.
What is this? Like, what last is it, or how do you go about like designing it for golf?
Well, you start with the bottom. That's the most important part, right?
Yeah.
And then once you select some sort of sole, if you're lucky, there's a matching upper that you like that goes with it.
Okay.
Or you have to develop it around the bottom.
Gotcha. Right.
You guys didn't have any plans to develop the bottom, or it took too long.
Well, that's existing, right?
I
From
didn't.
Vibram.
I
that's a
didn't
Vibram.
need to develop the bottom
Yeah.
because I'm not like that demanding when I play golf.
Right.
You know, and most of the stuff my friends are wearing are like some shoe that's not. If you didn't look at it, you wouldn't know it's a golf shoe. It doesn't have spikes on it. You
Yeah,
know?
sure.
So I was like, ran it by a couple of them, and Steve, my friend that owns Malbon, was like, recommended that I use that sole.
Okay.
You know, so I'm really good at working around what I'm given. So I was able to like adjust the panels and proportionally get it to fit that particular design.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. How long did it take overall to like come up with like a final version?
When you work at Etnies, I told you I get one. I'm like a one revision guy, whether I like it or not.
Really?
'Cause everything's under a time
Okay.
constraint.
So you got pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Colorways, though. How did you?
This is their colorway. And that probably has to do with that. Isn't it Masters? Jerron's a golf pro, right?
No, I'm not.
Masters colors.
I
You guys,
think,
I
yeah.
heard. Hey, hearing you guys going back and forth the other night at the
Oh,
golf
he loves to bring it. He loves it. He loves a competition.
I
but
like
he loves
golf.
to talk shit.
I like golf because I get to talk smack, and
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere. You're stuck with me for 9 or 18 holes.
Yes.
So I don't care because everyone's got a bad score anyway. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Let me get in this guy's head.
Yeah,
So
like
you
to talk.
you picked the black and the
The black and the
brown.
gum, I wanted it
The
to
gum, yeah.
resemble what the shoe was.
Sure.
So you could maybe be the guy that's like, dude, I'm playing golf and
Oh,
the
you like?
iconic skate
the
shoe. It's
23,
pretty much
yeah.
the same.
Gotcha. No, it's great.
What's your? How did? It seems a lot of skateboarders have gotten into golf. And it seems
Big
very yeah. What's how did you get into it? And how do you see similarities in there to skating?
What's your handicap?
I don't see similarities in there to skating. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. When people use that analogy, it's like I see similarities in like, you know, if you take a BMX bike out to a jump and you jump it, I see some similarities because it's like scary as hell, you know, and it's like, damn, dude, it's gnarly and it kind of has the same feeling. And then once you jump on like a surfboard, you kind of, there's some similarities. I think surfing's always been more like snowboarding to me. How you turn on a rail and, you know, so I see the board sports and I don't on a bike as like, well, they all end up doing tricks similar. So that, I see that. In golf, it's like, no, it's its own thing. You know what I mean? And it would be more like baseball or tennis to me, where it's like, you know, you could think you're doing it, but the swing or the technique is completely flawed. And, you know, the way I got into it late purposely because we all used to live in mid-Wilshire, and we called it Skate Campus, right? And that's when Huff lived there, Scott Johnson lived there, Chico lived there, I lived there. A lot of people, Kelly Bird, we just all lived kind of around the Miracle Mile. I had noticed that those guys were always trying to get me into it back then, right? Because they were all starting to play or had been playing. Some of them, Rudy's the first guy that was playing golf.
Tim,
actually.
Rudy.
Yeah, but
Eric.
that's before. And then everyone on campus started getting clubs and getting real serious and spending way too much money. And I was so into skating, I was like, I don't want to play golf, man.
Same.
I was like, I go, how about I do that when I'm older, dude? I was like, I'll get the skate thing where that'll be the last thing I do is play golf. So, you know, you fast forward to now, and more of my friends play it. And these are friends I have things in common with. All of them most of them have a background in skating or some sort of lowbrow culture or whatever. So I'm like, I'm not at a country. I didn't have to sign up to a country club and become the country club golf guy, you know, that practices. So I'm like, oh, cool. We can go to a municipal and, you know, I can meet the guy from Kingswell at Los Feliz. I can meet when there was this course by my house. It was like everybody's over there. Los Feliz, everybody. No, the Roosevelt. Everyone's always over there. So it's kind of easy to. It's like you want to go talk to your friends for about an hour and a half. Like that's what it is to me, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, golf. Weird golf people get all weirded out, but I'm like, I'm not. How about I'm not trying to be bad, but I'm not trying to. I'm just not gonna go get a 200 pack of lessons, dude. And I'm sorry, it's gonna be third. You know, I'm gonna skate. I'm gonna jump a BMX bike, and I'll work the golf in, and when I'm on vacation and stuff, right? But it's not like skate.
I do see the similarities though.
In which way?
Just because of the fact that it's all about you, right? Nobody else is like, you don't need no fucking team. It's you and the ball. So like you gotta constantly. It's like repetition. Same thing with skating. It's like you're constantly trying to kickflip and get it right. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel that there is similarities. Obviously, with skating, you're using your legs and it's obviously a different approach. But from the mental aspect of like the repetition, it's definitely has something in common for me. You know?
I saw when I watched Justin Eldridge, like he'll on his Instagram, he'll like show a swing and like Malto, and I'm like, whoa, that looks good.
Malto is as good as anyone.
Yeah.
Totally.
He's always played.
Yeah,
he's better than everyone.
But you could sense like. But then when I went and tried it the other day, I hadn't tried it before, and I was like, oh, that's why it's hard.
I like it. I like it, and it's different. But the point I was making was like, you remember? Have you ever done a handrail?
Yeah.
Remember how for 2 days after you're like the rest of the world won't get that.
Yeah.
You're like you could be rich, you could be some weirdo rap whatever, you be an actor. It's like you can't buy that. You could try. You got 12 years to figure it out, but you ain't buying it, and that's what we have in common. Now, when a guy takes a BMX bike and does a backflip, you're getting the same. You're cool for 2 days because you do it on a surfboard, same thing.
Right.
You do it on a snowboard, you get the same thing. Now, when you get into the other stuff, you don't get that, and that's what makes us different. That's why I put them in the same class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I can jump on a BMX bike, but I'm not going to do a fucking backflip.
But if you learned how to jump and you're like, dude, I don't know if I could do that, and you had to work for it.
Yeah.
You know, in golf, I love it, but if I have a good shot, it isn't like
you don't have to get your freaking just the courage up to try something. You just kind of practice.
you get
it.
lucky.
Well, I'm saying, but it doesn't give me that feeling of like, dude, come on, man. You know, if you go do an 8-stair hand roll right now, you're kind of like, you feel like you really did something for 2 days. You're like, man, I'm sitting on top of the world.
Yeah.
It's like only, there used to be an ad that said only a surfer knows the feeling. Well, there's 3 other sports, not sports. 3 other things where they get the same feeling. You know, surfing is like, man, you ever caught a good wave? Have you?
Have I? I've surfed a little bit when I was a kid, but basically no.
That's where I say they're all different. If you ever catch a good wave, dude, you're like, okay, that's it. You're not gonna get. You don't care. Like, I'm gonna get good. See, that's where it's different. You're like, dude, I need another wave like that. And then you just become immersed in it. You get on a BMX bike and you jump something, and you start blasting. You're like, wait a minute, dude. Maybe I'll do it on a mountain bike or BMX. You earn it, but you have this thing where you like, you don't want to get good. You just want to do it. That's why it's so much like skating to me. Sports are always like, they're different because you want to get good. How do you get good at something? You practice. You don't practice surfing, skating. Well, I don't practice skating. BMX.
I said that from the beginning. I never
Yeah.
practiced skating.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't practice these things. You're just like, holy cow, dude. I mean, it's a fun, great thing to do.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
How do you even get involved with Malbon? Like, how do you said you know him? Did you guys meet golfing, or
I've
was
known
he a
him
skate
forever.
fan?
He used to do a magazine called Frank 151.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his brother did it. So I've always been really good friends with him. And when he started the brand, I was there when he was sketching up his logo and everything. And he's like, you got to get into golf, man. He's like, it's the greatest game ever. And he's like, I'm trying to tell you. So he had a simulator at his shop. I hit it and didn't learn that much, clearly. But I went over there all the time and I got to the point where I was like, all right, let's go play. And then I was like, dude, it's a lot of fun. I love doing it on vacations. I like, you know, sometimes you can't skate 36 hours a day. So it's like, yeah, it's a good pastime too. If you can get to the point where you can get a wave, you'll get the same, you'll have that same undescribable rush where you're like, dude. And jumping, you know, I took some BMX bikes out when I went searching for 80s BMX bikes when I was living in San Diego in like 92 or something. It was me and my friend Peter King, the pro surfer. We had we had a lot of time on our hands. So I'm like, dude, we should get 80s BMX bikes. We should go to every Vans store, find all the old school, because they weren't making vulcanized at the time. And I was like, we'll go to every head shop, buy all the Metallica stickers, we'll buy all the decals, we'll get number plates, and we'll set these bikes up and go out to the jumps, dude. Looking like we came straight out of the 80s. So we did it. We drove all over El Cajon, everywhere, found all the stuff, went to Vans outlets, and I'm used to like ghetto blasting off jumps where you bunny hop off of the thing. So it's really a bunny hop with an angle.
Right.
So the ones we went to were in San Diego, and they just went to vert, and they dug the middle out to where you had cans. You couldn't test it. You had to clear.
You had to go for it.
And it was a steep landing, and I was just looking at it. I was like, dude, there is no easy one here. And we're just sitting there. He's a heavier set dude. We're on 24-inch bikes. And he goes over it. He's the first to jump it. And he, you know, it's funny because there's all these kids out there. Nobody would jump it either. And he's like, dude, these kids are like just looking at us like we're just some weird old people, dude. This is pretty awesome. So he goes over it, gets a little bit of air, right? Because he's heavy. And he's a big dude. And I cranked down that thing, and I yanked the bar. I was really super high up, but it was like in a Superman thing. So I threw it, right? And then I went back and I tried to do it again, and this time I was like, oh, you just ride over it. But I got a lot of speed, and it was downhill. I got a lot of air, and I jumped over the bars and threw it behind me, right?
Damn.
So it took me a while to figure out how to do it. And then when I stuck it, I was like, dude, that was the coolest feeling. And it was scary. And it was like I was blasting. And I was like, yeah, that's what I remember. I remember doing that before I skated. That's why in the 80s it was like it was common to ride with people that had BMX bikes because they had the ramp, you didn't. Sometimes they had the quarter pipe, you didn't. You know, you got into skating, but you probably just stopped trying to ride your bike, trying to jump it, or when they started doing airs. You know, that's the last thing I did on a BMX bike was like airs on a quarter pipe.
What did you have, a Huffy?
Yeah, I did. God damn it. That bike was horrible, but I held my own. But then when I got a job and got my own money, I bought the first GT Pro Performer. I got it right when it came out. And early freestyle bikes are like, you have to build them. I was a huge Eddie Fiola and Ron Wilkerson fan, Too Hip. And this is like, they were doing airs. They were doing airs on quarter pipes and doing like Eddie Fiola is known to blast. All the photos you see, if you don't know what it is, he's like blasting in pipeline, right? And I thought that was cool. I was like, dude, that I could get about 3 feet and I would hang up and not slam, but I was like, I could not figure out how to get the back wheel in. The ramp didn't have much vert.
Scary.
Yeah, but it was fun, man. And then so when I hopped on a skateboard right after that, what did I want to try to do? Airs. So I saw
Eddie
the
Fiola.
how do you
Getting
not
gnarly air.
that's crazy, dude.
That dude.
That's cool, right?
That is insane.
That's going way back.
Oh,
dude.
this is
That's one like who else is doing that, you know?
I mean,
But
was it
that guy
80s?
was my hero as a kid, you know.
Damn.
That
that's
movie Rad
insane.
was pretty amazing at the time.
He's in it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that movie never gets old to me.
It doesn't. It's legendary.
Look at this dude.
Oh, this is him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Look at that.
But he's still pretty gnarly, man. I see him riding every once in a while. He adapted to the mountain bike stuff really well. I want. This looks like a blast
Where
to me.
is
but
that at?
That's in San Diego. I think. This looks
yeah.
like fun, dude.
It's like a pump track type?
I know they have one here in Inglewood. I think
That doesn't
they
look
just
like
opened.
fun to do that.
It does look like fun.
If you can do that, fuck it.
Yeah.
I know. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do the manual. You seen the manual that they do? I never.
They kind of like pop it up and then ride over the
Yeah,
the
I
tabletop.
never
Yeah.
properly rode tracks. I was a
Those
trail
look fun, though.
ghetto kid and setting up the slant ramp to jump. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to Inglewood and try that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Damn.
They don't pedal. See how they pump
Yeah, they
through
Yeah,
it?
they
do
pump
it.
it. Yeah.
But modern BMX is like, God, have you seen this manual?
Oh my God,
it's crazy.
It's psycho. The shit that they're doing is psycho.
They be looking at skate videos, though.
Yeah.
Of course, but I mean, it's pretty cool to look at.
For sure. I haven't seen anything new from like biking at all, but I'm sure it's pretty.
I think
amazing.
Just the
skaters look
shit-
at their stuff too.
Yeah, I mean,
for
just the shit
spots
that-
and stuff like that.
Think
Like
so?
Dakota
Yeah.
Roche. Dakota Roche is
It's usually the other
insane.
way around.
Have
but
you
yeah.
seen those guys ride like a backyard pool? I didn't even think you could do that in there. It's pretty rad.
That's it.
Dang. There you go, man. Dope, dude. Well, maybe you could get a Sal 23 BMX, some type of Huffy collab.
That bike was. I went back and bought it too.
I just remember
Now that I have money, I went back and bought one.
they had
They're expensive now.
Do you remember the bar? They had like the foam thing with the wrapper you'd put over the
pads?
and then
Yeah,
the
pads.
pads.
They
Yeah.
still make those.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
What is this like? Is this like not a good bike or something?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
It's just
not-
one.
I have no
idea.
You
It-
go to Toys R Us.
It's like
a standard.
It's like a Nash Executioner.
There you
Okay. Right.
It felt like it was filled with cement. Like back then, the big thing was you would say, "Hey, bro, can I pick up your bike?" Right? And then you were always afraid if someone was going to try to steal it. Remember? But then bikes were so light back then that you could just pick stuff up with one finger. All the good bikes were like that, right?
Okay.
Then the Huffy and the Team Murray, it was like you needed Lou Ferrigno to spot you, dude. Oh, just awful.
Big difference, bro.
Everything's awful about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's like an introduction bike. Like everybody,
It's not even an
everybody had a,
introduction
but
bike.
everybody had a Huffy, dude.
It's if your mom has a charge card at JCPenney's or Sears, you're getting that bike for Christmas.
I
it's
think I got
not-
one at Toys R Us.
Oh
dude.
man,
I
that
had
bike.
to have gotten that.
Oh.
I think I spread this story. The only reason I got a Huffy is because a kid stole my red line and he left his Huffy and took my red line.
Oh, you had a red line.
Bro.
Wow, you just
my
got
cousin,
swapped?
because my cousin gave it to me. He got a new bike and then he gave me his red line. I couldn't afford bikes
All
like
right,
this.
can I thank my people?
Let's go. Thank you, people. Can we give you some
Hall
Nine
of
Club
Fame.
stuff?
Wait,
Hall of
is
Fame.
this his last interview ever?
This is his last interview
I'm gonna
ever.
thank
We're gonna-
I'm gonna thank the people I need to thank.
How? Okay.
Is this gonna be like an
Do you
hour
need a?
thing?
Do you need a?
No, it's gonna be quick.
Oh,
This is what I wanted to do before they put that get off the stage music on at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, they did that to you.
Well, they did it to Bucky, and then it looked bad for anyone who was waiting to get it too, right? All right, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna start with the shops
Okay.
that have helped me out. I really appreciate everything that the Bicycle Source did for me. I really appreciate everything that Surf and Skate did for me. I'm gonna throw JFJ in there too. I'm gonna once again shout out Humidity for making that scene so much better,
Hell yeah.
keeping that dream alive over there. Much respect, Phil. Now I'm going to get into people that I ride for. I got to really thank Tony Magnuson and everything that he's done for me at 8th Street. Mike, I don't thank him enough. I don't talk about him enough. But I wouldn't have had, I don't know if I'd have the life I had if Mike wouldn't have just said, hey, let's do this thing and let's travel and do all this fun stuff, and brought me on all those great teams and introduced me to a lot of people that are more than teammates. They're my friends still. So 8th Street, one of the best things ever happened to me, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like to talk about Plan B too. Danny has always had my back. I thank you, Danny. Always been a huge fan, one of my favorites. I think the world of Danny Way. Shout out to him and Colin for keeping it going. All the riders that rode for 8th Street, especially Hensley. Like I told you, that was a dream come true. I won the lottery, but I won it twice because then I was hanging out with my best friend, Sheffy,
yeah.
traveling around, but there's a lot of names in there, but, Kian Lou, the Donger.
Oh man.
Alfonso, Jason Rogers, like I said, Carbajal, touring with Aaron Vincent and Noah Slasnik was great.
Damn, yeah.
So there's a lot there. Filming with Mac Dog, that's one of the first guys I filmed with. And Dan Stewart can't, if he would have filmed me the whole time, I would have never stopped filming. So I love that guy to death.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Ternasky, Sloshbach. I got to shout out all the guys that I ended up working with at Elwood, and that's a long list. But all the riders that were cool enough to believe in what I was doing and not ask me about money, and then come along, and help me get it to the point where I could actually even pay them. I always appreciated that. The short-lived thing at 23, that was great.
Yeah.
I love that one. That's one of my favorite things I did too. I got to work with great people: Drake, Dill, Clyde, Van England, Bertino.
Oh yeah, Bertino.
Yeah,
So it was like,
Bertino.
like I said, I want to sponsor my favorites, so I got to do it more than once. And then Aesthetics was really great. That's like, Rob. I always loved Rob, and I didn't know if I'd get the opportunity to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
So putting him with Joey, Clyde, Kevin, it's great.
Yeah, it's legendary.
And I'm still friends with all of them. And, shout out to Ige and Grecky.
Dude.
Hey, real
Yeah.
quick, did Ige or I know Jimmy didn't have a board. Did Ige have a board ever?
No, he didn't, and he ended up doing one with FTC. Right?
Western Edition.
Yeah, Western Edition.
Could we maybe see this like a little Jimmy board and a Ige board for Aesthetics?
You can go fund me. Skating's expensive.
It's true.
Just a little run of those boards would be pretty tight, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
And we'll see what's up with that.
Yeah.
And then, I got to thank, I appreciated Fausto for what he did for me. That always meant a lot to me. Clearly, a big thank you to Pierre and Don and the OG camp over there. That was awesome, I got to make some things that I'm proud of, and they're still around. And
That's crazy.
like I said, it was all came from the right place. It was a small, tight-knit unit, and it was just like the only goal was to make like a skate shoe. It had nothing to do with anything else, but just get in there and see what you can do.
I mean, it's not that many shoes last this long and come back and come back and come back and come back.
30
and
years.
And people still
In the skate world.
nuts.
want to own it.
I told you,
It's a
you got to
lot.
make
It's
that
crazy.
poster and show what else was out at the time.
At the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So kids stopped giving me a hard time. I'm like, dude, I didn't make it yesterday, dude. It was like,
I skated the shit out of that shoe, man. I loved it.
A lot of people
Still
man.
do.
A lot of
Yeah.
iconic skateboarders skated in that shoe, man. It's crazy. Anybody else?
well, I got to go to Louisiana. I'm going to miss a lot there.
Yeah.
But, that what I wanted to thank was my mother who passed away right before I got the award.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I was kind of doing it. And then, Charlie, Shannon, Petrie, these are all guys that came out and got boards there, which it wasn't easy at the time. I think that, has always meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
So I like to shout them out too.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Man, and congrats on all that stuff, dude. I
Yeah,
think that's
dude.
a major accomplishment, dude. I mean, who would have now thought this kid from
Yeah.
H Street would have been on the stage, skateboarding
Right.
Hall of Fame, right? It's dope.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's really dope, dude.
What about for some reason I always think of Pacific Drive.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I know, but that's always gonna happen. People are gonna be like, you forget
Ah.
about things, but like,
I shouted him out. I gave him I worked on that shoe with him, right? Yeah.
Pacific, yeah,
Yeah, Jim,
Yeah.
Sam. Sam was working behind the counter, and he's the actual guy that drew the shield. You know that?
Oh, no way.
And he's not an artist. We were just, like I said, it was such a grassroots thing. I was like, Sam, dude, I need to come up with something. And I think that's around the time when I had the polo boards and stuff. And that was like inspired by like a polo sport, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is always red, white, and blue.
yeah.
So, and a flag, right?
I just always remember, like, I don't know. There's so many cool stories coming out of Pacific Drive. And I remember, what did you do? The Grapevine?
Yeah. Well, Pacific Drive is like, I got hurt really bad and I tore ligaments in my ankle and I could not skate, dude. And then if you ever tear ligaments, you everyone thinks you're faking because you can walk and it doesn't look like anything's going on, but you can't do anything.
Right.
So I was learning to surf, so I'd be lucky if I'd stand up, right? So I just hung out there and it was really cool. I got to meet all the guys. They were always filming Momentum 1 and Momentum 2, which are super heavyweight historical surf videos.
Oh, no way.
But all those guys came through there. And so I got to see some of the really awesome surfing, right? And I'm still friends with a lot of those guys today. Shout out to Justin Poston, who was my hero. That was the best surfer in Mission and probably other places too. But that was a great time. I mean, I live by the beach, man.
Yeah.
So I was surfing, skating when I could again. But, I went through that period of like Pacific Drive I moved a block away and I was always in the water.
Damn.
Sick. Anyone else you gotta think?
Anybody?
I'll forget a million people. So
Yeah.
You name 5, you leave 5 off. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But as long as you throw the huffy
I'll write
in
it
there.
down and come back on again.
For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
interview.
next time we'll
Ain't the last.
Yeah.
you could just name who. You could just come with a list next time, and we'll just sit here.
When we play golf next,
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
get into it now.
I that's sadly enough, I'm going
Let's
to.
go,
It's
Kelly.
fun.
Come on, dude.
You
I know.
gotta. You probably have to take lessons.
Oh, for sure.
That's
I mean,
You
I
think
took
we
one or
talked
two.
about
Go to the
we talked
driving
about Joey
range.
Bast earlier. Remember we were talking about that? A friend of mine randomly hit me up. He was in Arizona. He's like, "Hey, I'm talking to a golf instructor here. He says he knows about your podcast. Maybe do you know who Joey Bast is?" I was like, "Get the fuck."
well. You
out."
know who else is is big in golf is Drake Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've known this for a while.
Damn.
Yeah.
We need like a golf, like a skate.
There
Old
should be there should
school.
be a golf tournament
That has
for
all
skate,
golfers.
but you have to.
skate.
You can't come out of the woodwork. It has to be dudes that had, you know,
Right.
like Bass clearly in it.
Yeah.
Drake
but it can't be
Jones,
the
yeah.
dude you never heard of that like kind of skate it and then he's like, but he's heavier on the golf side. It's like if you know, like
Totally.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
It's like
It should. That'd be amazing.
Prager, you know, like you get,
Dude, he's actually pretty good.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get last, but I'm not getting first. Jerron's gonna get last. But
You know damn well that's not happening.
But I think it would be an awesome tournament because I would love to look at I would love to have it be a 2-day thing to where you could.
Oh my
Where you can look at the
standings.
Like, God damn, Jerron's 17 under on the eighth
That's
hole.
good. That's
on
good.
the eighth hole. No, I mean 17 over.
Yeah, see,
on the eighth hole.
he already said it the right way. You already said it the right way.
But Costin, I heard Costin's pretty good too.
There's
no?
so many people. I mean, Steve Rocco. It would be rad to get so many different
No,
random
stick
people.
it with the dudes that all skated from the same era,
Yeah.
and then it's hilarious because there's no like, well, Jerron's younger than me. See, then it's just like, nah, dude.
I mean, I
It's
don't
funny,
care about that.
right?
Yeah, I
imagine,
hear you.
imagine like the first day, you wouldn't want to see where everybody's at.
Oh, I would love to see that. I want to see where I'm at. I can golf.
You
And Chris randomly he
You're
can.
friends with Eldridge though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you can secretly golf.
I was golfing
You don't
before.
golf.
I was golfing before Eldridge. I was golfing back in
See,
the day
you're
with
gonna be all
Malto
right
and
then.
yeah.
Oh, you were golfing with Sean. Then.
For-
You're gonna.
When's the last time you golfed?
I've been to the driving range here and there, but that's
Why
about
don't we
it.
set her up with the 9 club,
9 club?
the 9 hole?
That's the only
mean-
club I use.
Let's set it up with the 9 club, and it's a tournament. It's a 2-day thing, and it's just like
Okay.
painfully.
You come up with all the financial backing.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm big in golf. I'm big in golf now. Jerron, I got you some socks.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
He's
the
the
best
only-
sock ever made.
Is this
Well-
the best sock? What's so special about it?
Look at it. I mean, I'm the creative director of
Bust
this
it,
sock.
Oh, yeah.
bust it open, dude.
So the
and
coolest
we'll get
looking
you.
design.
We'll trade you. We've got some 9 club stuff for you.
Okay.
What size T-shirt? Are you?
I'm an XL now.
XL?
Oh, they
Yeah.
feel nice.
They feel nice, Dubs.
Yeah, they feel nice.
Let's
Well, open
break
it. Look
those
at
open. Let's see the
this
design.
I mean,
design.
look at this. Look at this.
Let's see the
I mean,
design.
Look at, come
Let's
on,
see the
man. That's the
Etnies
coolest sock ever made.
SLB.
Ooh.
Oh, it's got the logo on there
It
too.
does have the logo.
Okay.
Oh, those are clean.
Boom.
Oh, it's an actual shoe. Look at that.
Oh, it is.
I love it.
Let me see. Sal just left, by
Yeah,
the way.
he left
Just-
it-
he
he
left
left
us
it.
for this. Oh yeah, it is. It is.
These are great.
I sometimes I think you know what's funny with socks? I have a pair of stance that sometimes it says left and a right.
Mhm.
Does you have socks like that?
Mhm.
I blindly put the sock on and it's always right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
I've never put the sock on and not looked. I don't look at the right and left, but I put them on and they always end up on the right foot.
That's so funny.
The
I have a
correct
pet
foot, I
peeve
should say.
about socks that, like, so say for instance, I have Nike socks. I have to wear Nike shoes with those
I
Nike
know,
socks.
trust me, I was the same way, but I'm kind of over that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, you know what? If I got a Nike shirt, if I got an Adidas something
No, I
on,
can't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
wear whatever.
I can't do an Adidas shirt and a Nike.
Okay, what
shorts.
if it's Adidas shirt and like a skate shoe?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
I can't do it any of those ways, unfortunately. But thank you, Sal. I appreciate it, man. I really, we can chill for a second here.
Well, we need it when Kelly comes back.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. Dude, we're
wrapping
wait,
it up.
Wait. Hold on. Sit back down.
We're not done yet, Sal.
Got to give you a couple little things for the road, and then we're done. You good? You have a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. We were just commenting on the socks, and
Sorry, the sock, dude.
they're a nice shoe thing.
This
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
sock.
for sure. All right, Sal. Yeah. First of all, dude, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me,
It's
dude.
always a pleasure. When you're out there on the golf course, I don't know, man. You can put this in the cart, drink your hot or cold beverage.
Well, it says Yeti on it, and that
Yeah.
far outweighs the 9 club thing
That's,
on there. So I'll use that. I'll keep that.
Ask Yeti if they'll let you come on their podcast, huh? Here's a 9 club hat that'll keep your. It's Richardson, by the way. Richardson.
Okay.
It's a little partner of ours.
Oh,
They're
Richardson
good.
makes the hat.
Yeah.
Jerron never wears them.
Yeah, he
Go ahead.
does.
I do.
He does. He does.
9 Club hooded sweatshirt. Here you go. This is our college logo.
3X.
Iconic.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, 3X. Freeway.
Shout out to Skull Candy, man. They hook us up here. So next time you're on that flight or you just want to go out on a nice walk
Oh,
in the
these are
park.
wireless, right?
Yeah. Crusher
Yeah, dude.
ANC2s, Skull
Your
Candy.
long flights.
You know,
This
when I
is-
traveled with Ron Allen, he had CDs. And he carried the Case Logic CD.
With all the CDs in it.
Dude, it's like a suitcase.
It's so sick. I love it.
Dubs, you had a big collection, didn't you?
Yeah, we still got it.
Yeah.
Still got it. I can't believe that I'm about to put Sal on our team. We have a nuts and bolts company.
$100 a month. That's a nut and bolt, right?
Two
Listen.
packages of bolts a month.
$250, okay.
2 packages of bolts a month.
All right. I need longer ones. I use riser pads.
Don't worry. We'll get you 1.5 inches, 2 inches,
Okay.
whatever you need.
I need under the bridge bolts. I
Bridge
need the longer
bolts.
ones.
Yeah? I used to rock bridge
Under the
bolts.
bridge bolts.
I
I
did?
like
You
that.
know, you know
Okay.
the.
I used to rock the bridge bolts.
There
That's
you
my
go.
like on my first couple boards I had was bridge bolts. I liked them.
They were around for a
Don't
minute.
break your board.
Short-lived.
Really? Is that when they
Yeah.
stopped making them?
Part of it.
I never had that problem breaking boards. I always landed bridge bolts.
Sure.
It's a bad joke. Anyway, Sal, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congrats on everything, dude.
Thank you.
Be on the
Yeah,
lookout. And anything that we talked about in the show, the Malbon collab, aesthetics, everything, links are in the description below. So people can go check you out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Sal.